Minute winner today to beat Dagenham Redbridge 1-0. An absolute howler as well from the Dagenham Redbridge goalkeeper. Not been a good day for goalkeepers. That goal was going in at virtually the same time as the Nottingham Forest goal was going in against Manchester City, and that too was an absolute howler from Edison. So fingers crossed there are no howlers here, at least not from Harrison Mayle in his all orange kit today.
No, we could do the Liverpool loanee having a howler. Be nice.
Yep. The Forest Green have turned York City round, so they're going to be shooting towards the south stand in this first half. Roundly booed for doing so.
They know exactly what they've done.
Yeah, Ben Tozer, the former Wrexham man, straight back in the side today with Cian Harris, who they signed from Woking at the start of the year, ill, and he wears the captain's armband as well. The goalkeeper has just been across this near side to get something off the bench. Mrozek.
It's good to see the City lads in a huddle as well. Oh, Forest Green in a huddle as well. It's a modern day thing, but that'll be the last words of advice from the captain. The players getting G'd up, ready for this match. And I'm sure they're probably saying, listen, we're here for a reason. We're here to do well. We've got the support of the crowd right behind us. Let's go out and do it.
The goalkeeper does get booed as he wanders towards the south stand. Ollie Yates, the referee. Fingers crossed he has a good game. It's about time that we saw a referee had a decent enough game. The referee at the Barnet Dagenham game, he didn't cover himself in glory either today, Paul Marsden. It's a lot easier when you're sitting at home watching the replays that we had earlier on today. But again, there were some iffy decisions in that game. There we go, game underway. York City have it, and they give it at the back to Fagan Walcott. Fagan Walcott goes to Callum Howe. It is Joe Felix starting at left back, as we suggested, with Jeff King on the right hand side. King gets his first touch of the ball, gives it back to his goalkeeper, and Mayle plays it long down that right hand side of the field. Both games this season against Forest Green, 5:30 kickoffs. Forest Green winning the reverse fixture back in November, 2-0, flicked on by Pearce, looking for Luamba.
Wow, he's quick.
He is, but the defender got there first. Luamba's got back in front of him though, done really well to get in front of Jamie Robson and wins it back for York City. He gives it to Batty, now to King on the halfway, down the right hand side. Interesting as well that Richardson's starting in the centre in the number 10 role, and Nathaniel George is starting on this left hand side.
Yeah, that is
Luamba
interesting.
On the right.
Yeah, Richardson is a technical player, isn't he? He's maybe not as quick as Nathaniel George. So yeah, it's an interesting move from the manager.
Well, it's where he started at the start of the season, Nathaniel George, and he was in the side with Sinclair, and Sinclair was on the right, but the majority of this season it's been the other way around.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll see Nathaniel George trying to get to the byline and pulling balls back rather than the constant inverted wingers that we see with try and come in on their stronger foot.
Hopefully, yeah. Yeah, they tend to do that. We've done that a lot this season, cutting inside. So yeah, we've got two players that are prepared to go on the outside of the fullbacks tonight.
I wonder how difficult it is though for someone like a Lewis Richardson or Junior Luamba as a young player to constantly be switching positions.
Well, I mean, their managers, they're where they come from, they probably are happy to see them gaining experience. And as a player, yeah, listen, you want to play your position, but you're also getting a lot of experience playing in different places. So they've got to take it on board as well. This is football. The manager picks you and you play there. City
go back to their goalkeeper once more. Sun just starting to set behind the stand on the far side of the ground, so the sunglasses can now come off. Still nice though to be sat here without having to need a thick jacket on at the minute. Might be different in the second half once the sunlight has gone completely. That's lofted forward by Forest Green into the centre of the park, and it's won in there by McCann. McCann tries to set McAllister away down this right hand side. Felix tracks him. McAllister tries to get a cross in. Felix blocks it, and he stops it from going out for a corner. Just brilliantly sticks his leg between the legs of McAllister and keeps the ball in. Absolutely superb from Joe Felix.
Prime FIFA from Joe Felix. I think that was square X triangle for that move. Whatever he did, it was brilliant.
Hunt wins a soft free kick on the edge of his own penalty. He jumped for the ball, him and the Forest Green player. Missed both of them, and he fell over as he landed, and the referee thinks he's seen something there and giving York City the free kick.
And they'll take it, will City.
0-0 it remains, 2.5 minutes on the clock. So Harrogate Town with the late winner, I think it was against Carlisle. Scarborough, big defeat at Kidderminster Harriers today. Maz Kuyar on loan from York City, of course. He had to get one of the goals against Scarborough Athletic.
Yeah, of course, yes. Forget them.
He scored in the reverse fixture as well at the Flamingo Land Stadium, or the Scarborough Sportsville, I think it's called now, isn't it? Earlier in the campaign too, so he's done the double over Scarborough. And now they can come forward against his former teammate, of course, Ryan Whitley. Hunt comes forward to the right hand side. That's a nice ball once more to Luamba. Falls then to King, who tries to put a cross in first time, headed away by Tozer. Far side of the ground. King hoping that's going to go into touch. And there's a big shove in the back, right in front of the referee. Doesn't give anything. And King does really well, actually, to hold on to the ball over there in a tight corner. And he turns away from his hand. Surely pulled down this time.
No.
Still nothing given. That's twice Jeff King has gone down as though he's been poleaxed and not been given anything either time. I wonder if the referees have seen what he's done in the last few weeks. Now they come forward, the visitors again. Diagonal ball. McAllister's got a bit more room to work in. Comes towards the edge of the penalty area. Plays it down the line. Cross into the box. No, back post. There is now. Oh, what a miss. 10 yards from goal, virtually on the penalty spot. And he had a free shot at goal there, Jordan Garrick, and he sent it high over the bar. What a miss from Jordan Garrick.
Well, his head is still in his hands, and rightly so. How on earth did he not hit? All he needed to do there was hit the target. That is a massive let-off for York City, because it was a sweeping move from Forest Green down the right-hand side with McAllister, and his ball in was perfect. My worry was Garrick was absolutely free at the back stick. Free as a bird. Oh, no, oh my word.
How did he miss that?
I mean, brilliant.
Sky. It's one of the worst misses you're ever likely to see.
Yeah, brilliant.
The one thing I would say is, we thought Jeff King was fouled twice. The referee says no, and they've nearly scored from that, as happened the other night and has happened at Hartlepool as well.
And it's why Garrick was so free. Jeff King was still on his bum up here at the wrong end of the pitch, and Garrick was absolutely in acres.
It takes a little nick as the cross comes in from McAllister off the heels of Fagan Walcott, and it just means that Garrick has to just stop his run slightly. He still should have burst the back of the net. There's no excuse for him missing it, but that might have slightly put him off.
Maybe, yeah. City have gone away with one.
Howe sends it long, Pearce flicks it on, but there's no one there to read it, and once more it goes through to Innes, who gives it back to his goalkeeper, who clears under pressure from Luamba. Clears too long, over the head of everyone. It goes from one goalkeeper through to the other. 0-0 it remains. 5 minutes gone. Yeah,
it's really could have been first blood for Forest Green there. It wasn't. City have got to take a little bit of comfort in that, because that was one howler of a miss.
Fagan Walcott to Nathaniel George on this near side in front of the fourth official. Fagan Walcott gets it back. Good afternoon to the family of John Farmery. I know Dave Farmery and some of his mates are here. Almost a year since John sadly passed away. And to Phil Deaton as well, who normally sits behind us. His wife Carol's here this afternoon. Phil is listening in at home, so I hope you're okay, Phil.
All the best, Phil.
And you enjoy the rest of the commentary here on BBC Radio York. City win the ball back on that far side with King. King goes back to Howe. Howe, as three police officers make their way up the gangway and up behind the electronic scoreboard in the far corner of the ground. King down the line. Cut out though by Tozer once more. And he plays it down the line, intercepted by York City, and it goes all the way back downfield, straight through to the goalkeeper. City struggling to get their foot on the ball and haven't really started yet, Ian.
No, they haven't. It's looked a bit edgy at times. I think, obviously, that Forest Green didn't score, which is the lucky bit. But yeah, City have got to somehow find a way of getting into this match, getting the ball down and get it under control. But Luamba looks like an outlet.
Cardwell beaten to that in the A. He's not had a touch yet by Callum Howe. City now come forward to Richardson. Pearce gives it back to Richardson. Thinks about taking on the shot. Gets it on his right foot, edge of the D. Ball just runs away from him, and Tozer's able to get a tackle in. And then the referee penalises Richardson for leaving his foot in slightly on Tozer. Very, very soft.
That was soft. He maybe left a little bit in, but I'd imagine he had to go for the ball. It was on the edge of the box and he was under control. Tozer's giving him the finger right now, though, pointing at his Lewis Richardson, so maybe there was something in it.
It's a free kick just outside the D. They've moved it forward a couple of yards here as the goalkeeper. 0-0 it remains.
Well, the crowd have come today. They haven't stopped chanting in this first 7-8 minutes. If City were to score the first, David, the roof will come off.
Howe beats Cardwell to it once more. Really struggled to get going this season at Forest Green as Harry Cardwell.
Good player, isn't he? We've rated him since.
This, but his injury record is pretty poor, and he just doesn't score goals regularly, hasn't in the last couple of years. To the byline, Forest Green get a deep cross in. McAllister with a nod back at the edge of the box, and that's gone straight to a red shirt. Hunt can come forward. Alex Hunt needs some help, tells Nathaniel George to get his bite. Nathaniel George looks like he's running through tree to this left hand side then. Really slow to get up and support Alex Hunt. He was having to wave him forward as he was running with the ball. Now he tries to spread it to the right hand side to Jeff King. Now to the right hand side it goes to Luamba. Luamba's going to run at the fullback over there. Luamba gets a decent cross in, takes a nick off a defender. That'll be a corner kick. York City's first of the game.
Yeah, it's good football. Nathaniel George did look like he was running through what? I think he was intentionally. He wanted it. He didn't want to go beyond the fullback. He couldn't beat him for pace, so he's dropped in to try and get into feet.
I don't think he has any pace, I don't think he's a pace wide man, is he?
No, he's not lightning at all, and I think he's happier getting the ball and dropping in and then coming inside. And maybe that's the thing. He'll come inside, whereas Luamba will go on the outside. I like him. He's always in control of the ball, but he does play at his
He's
pace.
more of a technically gifted player than a speedy winger.
Yeah.
Corner then, far side of the field. Batty pulls it back to the edge of the box. McAllister reads it. It goes straight to McAllister. Poor free kick. Poor corner kick, from Batty as he tried to send it to Hunt. Forest Green on the break. 1-on-1 at the back, and they almost got round the back, but Joe Felix is there, as he always is,
Super
to
Joe.
give it back to Harrison Mayle. And then City caught offside from Mayle's kick downfield. Luamba comes back
10
from
yards
an offside
back.
position.
Yeah, well done, referee.
Tozer gets ready once more. There won't be any towels around the side of the pitch here, like there are at the new lawn for his long throws if and when they get them. Tozer belts it long down the centre field, straight to a Yorkshire defender who scuffed that clearance. But then Dan Batty misses his kick completely, and it goes harmlessly through to Harrison Mayle. A bit fortunate there once more, City. Mayle goes long immediately down that right-hand side. Robson, the fullback, misses it. Then Luamba battles with him for the ball. Robson hooks it clear, but he's put it into touch.
Well done, Luamba there. He could have given a foul away, didn't he? It was sensible.
Adam Hinchell will be receiving his red cap for the first time just in front of us to our right-hand side. Luamba has looked like the outlet so far for York City.
Yeah, he looks a threat, doesn't he?
Need to wait for the ball to come back, for the throw-in to be taken. Go another 10 yards further forward from there, Jeff King. But he's not going to.
Yeah, I think... Yeah.
He's gone all the way back to halfway inside their own half now to Callum Howe. Howe squares it to Fagan Walcott. Fagan Walcott comes forward. He's on already. He's our friend behind us. Fagan Walcott playing on the left-hand side of the two centre-backs tonight. He gives it to Luamba on that far side. King sends it forward on the volley. Luamba wins the header. Going to be cleared though, scuffed straight back to Luamba. He's got another chance. Luamba needs to spread it. Finds Richardson at the area. Can he send it to his left-hand side? Oh, he should have played in Nathaniel George. Richardson off balance, so therefore off target as the ball balloons into the south stand.
Yeah, do you know what? My heart goes out to Richardson there because for a fraction of a second it sat up nicely, but it was a fraction of a second too late and he was off balance. Adam Hinchwood often says don't shoot if you're off balance, so he'll be furious with that. But it was good football. You're right though, David. Ashley Nathaniel George was in acres. If Lewis Richardson just showed a bit more composure, he could have slipped him in. Oh, but he saw the whites of the goals. You maybe can't blame him too much.
Even then, though, I think Nathaniel George needs to help him out more.
Yes,
he's too far wide left. He's got to come in a little bit nearer. If he'd have played it to him, the angle would have been so tight for him.
And almost make his mind up for him. You're going to pass it, yeah.
Just not great reading of the play from Nathaniel George or Richardson in the end. King into the middle, gives away possession as he tries a neat pass to Hunt. The green shirts have it again on the left-hand side. Into midfield it goes on halfway. And back into defence for Ryan Innes. 6'6" is Ryan Innes. He's a giant at the back for Forest Green. City win it back though for Joe Felix. Gives it to Nathanial George. He comes infield, then he's clipped right in front of us in the mud. The green mud, as Adam Hinchell would describe it to me the other day.
Well, it is, isn't it? It's like a compressed mud, compressed soil almost. There's not much actual grass on it. There's more grass, more hair on our heads.
That's saying it all.
It is.
Howe at the back for City. He's going back to Harrison Mayle, still 0-0. 11 minutes gone. Howe has it at the back. Hunt to Fagan Walcott. He gives it now to Nathaniel George. Nathaniel George goes back once more to Fagan Walcott. Fagan Walcott down this left-hand side onto the head of Innes, who heads clear. Doesn't get much distance on it though. Nathaniel George nods it infield straight to a green shirt, and then it's volleyed by Sercombe across the left-hand side. King has to turn back towards his own goal, and he'll get there first before Garrick gives it to Mayle, and he plays it out to Hunt. Back once more to King, still 0-0, 12 and a half minutes gone.
An early observation, David, that the long ball up isn't going to work today if it's just pumped up where the defender can come and win the head. You've either got to beat the defender or drop it in front of him. Ollie Pearce isn't going to win a ball in the air against these two.
Well, he's not had a sniff so far, Ollie Pearce.
So, yeah, the balls have got to be in over the top or into feet.
And it's onto this near side. Osadebe comes in field, skips past Nathaniel George, then gets the ball caught under his feet. The pitch playing its part once again. Batty wins it back, gives it to Richardson. He lays it off to Nathaniel George down this left-hand side. Provides an overlap. Nathaniel George allowed to come in field. Edge of the box, centre of goal, takes on the shot. Blocked on the edge of the 6-yard box by Tozer. Didn't connect properly there, which Nathaniel George has opened up for him. Ball comes back out to the edge of the box, and a Forest Green man goes to ground. Referee doesn't give the free kick, and it's played forward looking for Cardwell on this left-hand side. He gets his first touch. 13 and a half minutes into the game, Cardwell.
Was there a good chance for Nathaniel George, and he confident approaching it, but once he got to the edge of the box, he just scuffed his shot, unfortunately. He got himself into a really good position.
Now Forest Green come forward on the left with Robson.
Oh, trouble here.
Round the back for Garrick. He's around the back into the penalty area. Tight angle. Garrick, no one stopped him, and it falls kindly as he's closed down into the arms of Harrison Mail. Forest Green looking the most dangerous of the two sides so far.
Yeah, Garrick almost had too many options there, and he chose the wrong one.
That's
thankfully,
not a great ball from Hunt. He does find Nathaniel George, but he was 5 or 6 yards behind him instead of 5 or 6 yards in front of him. So it allowed Forest Green to get everyone back. Now it goes to Batty. Batty once more to Felix. 0-0 into Hunt. Tries to turn away from his man. He's caught on the ball though, is Hunt. He's going to win it back though for York City. Oh, he doesn't actually. The green shirts come away with it on the far side. McCann. Charlie McCann once more to Garrick. Garrick fronts up King, gets it past him. Cross comes into the box on the stretch, cut out by Callum Howe. Good defending by Callum Howe, and he needed to be there as well because there's a green shirt right behind him. But Jordan Garrick, apart from the finish, has looked dangerous here. Left Forest Green at the end of last season, went to Oldham, hardly played, and came back then to Forest Green at the start of this year. Yeah, only made one appearance for Oldham in the first half of the season.
Strange, isn't it? No, here he is.
Osadebe bursts forward on this right-hand side, lays it out wide left to McAllister. McAllister dinks the ball into the box again. Oh, Cardwell beaten to it in the air once more by Callum Howe, and City are able to clear the ball. Too much of it down and towards that York City penalty area, and then there's a push in the back of Ollie Pearce. The referee doesn't give it initially. Now he does.
I think Pearce is okay. He's holding his ankle, but it was a push, unless he's fallen badly. I'm not sure. Maybe just taking the sting out of the match.
It was Adam May, former Cambridge United man, that gave him the little shove in the back there. Forest Green bench are all up. The substitutes are about to go and start doing some warming up exercises. So too is Tyree Sinclair in front of us. 81333 on the text, 08000 321 333 on WhatsApp. Start your message with the word York if you want to get in touch with us on both of those. At BBC York Sport. We're on air all the way through until 8 o'clock tonight. Once we finish, BBC introducing an International Women's Day special tonight with Jericho Keys between 8 and 10. Nathaniel George has been told precisely where he should be stood as City take this free kick from the manager Adam Hinchelwood.
That's better.
Forward for Pearce. Defender right up against him. Does really well though to hold him off. Does Pearce. Gives it to Richardson. A poor layoff from Richardson. Allows Osadebe to get back in front of Nathaniel George. And Osadebe's looking for the free kick. And he wins the free kick. Very soft. But he did have his hands in his back.
You know, maybe we need to learn not to have our hands on the player's back, because he hardly touched him there, Nathaniel George. And the defender goes over like he's been poleaxed. It's rotten. It really is.
Oh, Forest Green put substitutes. In fact, all the substitutes are being told to come back here because the green bibs that York City are wearing are too close to the green kit that the Forest Green players are wearing, and the referee can't tell the difference. So the York City substitutes have been told they're not allowed to go and warm up in the green bibs. They've got to take them off, and they're going to have to find some different coloured bibs. A bit of a balls up here from the kit man. I don't know whose fault that is.
We must have known. We must have known that was it. Surely. No.
Well, I don't know. So I don't know. Anyway, they're not allowed to warm up at the minute with the green bibs on. The kit man's disappeared. He's scurried off down the tunnel. To be fair, the Forest Green bibs, the bright yellow, aren't they that much different?
Not really. No.
And the York City substitutes have said, well, you know what, we want to warm up on. There's a bit of a laugh and a joke between the two sets of players down there. We're going to warm up just in our black training tops. Why you need a bib on anyway, I do not know.
No, I mean, when did that become a thing? That's
gone behind for a goal kick. Forest Green thought that should have been a corner. There's a bit of a mess on this left-hand side for York City. But the linesman says it's a goal kick. To be fair, the appeals were from the Forest Green players, not the supporters behind the goal. Yeah,
it's the bib thing. I'm not quite sure. I get. You should wear a tracksuit top.
Yeah,
different colour from the kits. Job done.
Just another job for the fourth official to do badly at times, isn't it? Is organise what people are doing down there. Yeah. Concentrate on your board, mate. I'm
just hoping he's up to date on the board training technique.
Forward to Hunt. That's a nice ball. Turns away from a bit of trouble over that far side and lays it off to King. King up towards the edge of the penalty area with a diagonal ball, but Nathaniel George has to come all across this left-hand side and go backwards with it once more. Now he comes in field and gives it to Joe Felix, who's inverted into the centre of the park. Round the corner from Hunt, finds Pearce. Oh, he tries to give it back to Hunt. Wasn't the greatest ball though, and the green shirts are able to claim it. Once again, Cardwell doesn't get anything out of Callum Howe there.
Yeah.
And City have it at the back with Batty. Batty once more to Howe. Howe to Fagan Walcott. The crowd still heavily involved behind the goal away to our left hand side that York City are attacking in this first half. 18 minutes and 18 seconds the scoreboard says gone in this game. Still goalless though. And then Hunt decides I'm going to ping that all the way back to my goalkeeper Harrison Mayle. He hasn't had a touch for the last 20 seconds. So let's give him one now. Fagan Walcott into midfield. Well, he gives it to Howe in the centre of the field, I should say. And he gets it back. Does Malachi Fagan Walcott. To this left hand side it comes to Nathaniel George. Back to Felix. He gives it back to Fagan Walcott.
Getting a lot more of the ball, York, in this last 5-6 minutes, which I think they needed. They've definitely settled into this match.
Mayle gives it to Howe. Howe again back to Mayle. The press is on. Mayle takes one touch to get it out of his feet and then gives it to Jeff King. Jeff King turns away from Garrick, comes in field, goes back once more to Harrison Mayle. If you missed the build-up to this match tonight, about 10 past 5 possibly. Played a little excerpt of Adam Hinshelwood. Great ball from Dan Batty. Come back in a second. Nathaniel George takes it really well first time, then comes in field, up towards the edge of the penalty area. Now he's held up. Square ball to Hunt, 35 yards from goal. He gives it around the corner to Pearce. Pearce tries to find Hunt. He finds Hunt, but Hunt just couldn't get out of his feet, and the tackle comes in, and Innes is able to come away with it. He gives it straight back to Batty, and then Batty runs into the referee. The referee apologises immediately. Free kick or uncontested drop ball, 40 yards from goal, centre of the field for York City. Really interesting 5-minute segment with Adam Hinshelwood that I recorded yesterday, where he talked about the side's tactics from set pieces, especially wide free kicks and corners, and how they were 5th best for scoring and defending corners, but 16th best for wide free kicks, scoring and defending. Something that he said they must brush up on. For obvious reasons, we didn't want to put that up online ahead of this game, so that it could be listened to by opposition manager today, by Steve Cotterill. So that went out at about 10 past 5 today, but it's really interesting what he says. If you missed it, go back on BBC Sounds and have a listen to what he said. He said they need to spend more time practicing defending them as well in training.
Interesting, isn't it? Yeah.
He explained how they line up and what they're trying to do. Nathaniel George on the left hand side into the penalty area, beats his man, gets a cross in all the way across the face of goal and put behind for a corner. No one gambled in the 6-yard box. Ollie Pearce was on his heels. Oh my word, actually Nathaniel George, that was mesmerising skill and touch on the ball. The right back did not know what he was doing, and he's put a beautiful ball right across the face of the goal. All he needed was a touch. Richardson was in there as well as Pearce. Great football, Nathaniel George there. Second corner kick. Can City do a little bit better with this one than the last time? That's what we want to see more of him. Nathaniel George, he's got it in his game. He maybe not the quickest, as in lightning pace, but he's got that turn of something. He can move a defender left and right, and when he gets away from him, he generally puts a good cross in. So Batty's over it. Again, the referee's having a quiet word here at the edge of the D with Jeff King over something or other. Not sure what. Jeff King then peels away. He's free. Here's Jeff King at the edge of the box. So is Lewis Richardson. Well, Batty's going to put it in the mixer, and it comes in the centre. It's not dealt with well. Flicked off the head, I think, of Luamba. I think Luamba and Fagan Walcott might have got in each other's way there, and Forest Green able to clear and to touch at halfway. Just an observation again here, David. For the big lads that they've got in that, they did not defend that corner particularly well. That'd give me, as a City player, optimism. Think of winning the second ball, because they're maybe not winning. Good clearances, good headers first time. City have gone back to Mayle, and as he's falling over, he does well to clear and make halfway. Appeals for handball from Ollie Pearce, nothing given, and Tozer has it at the back for the away team. He's turned away from King easily there. Sold him a dummy there as Garrick, and he can come forward down the right hand side. Luamba's done really well to track him, but Garrick's going to run Luamba, and he gets past Luamba to the bar line. Then Jeff King does really well to get back in position. Not cleared by York City in the centre of the penalty area, and now they get a bit fortunate, I think, as it played across to Nathaniel George on this left hand side. He can come forward. It's a very open match. This is two teams going at it, David. It's a good game. Lots going on. Batty to Howe. Garrick having a lot of success over on that left-hand side, York City's right-hand side. One to watch, but I think Luamba and Jeff King worked well together there to snuff him out. Fagan Walcott to Felix. Felix back to Fagan Walcott. And now he gives it to Callum Howe. Howe once more to Fagan Walcott. Back again to Callum Howe. Now to the right hand side to Luamba. Luamba back to Howe. Batty to Fagan Walcott. City still content to have it in their own half of the field. Excuse me.
Yeah, they're just keeping the ball, being patient with it.
Fagan Walcott to Nathaniel George. Nathaniel George has it at the back. I'll run through all the full-time scores in the National League from earlier on if you missed it. Barnet winning the early kick-off 1-0 against Dagenham with a 93rd minute goal, a howler from the goalkeeper as we mentioned already. Batty sends it out wide to King, and then he gives it inside to Howe. Callum Howe. Again, just walking pace really, puts his foot on the ball. Forest Green show no intention to close the York City defenders down. Happy for them to have it at the back. Now they can come forward on this left-hand side. Nathaniel George, but again, he goes back to Joe Felix. Felix is almost playing three at the back here, with Batty dropping in between Fagan Walcott and Howe, and Felix then going to midfield, and the crossfield ball, King takes his eye off it, into touch and goes for a throw-in.
That is going to frustrate Adam so much, because they were very patient in the build-up City there, and you're thinking, are they building a move up? And they almost were, but when it goes out to your outlet, which was Jeff King on that occasion, to let the ball go out for a throw-in, that will frustrate the life out of the manager and the players who were keeping the ball so patiently there.
They're taking the time with the throw in here. Full-time scores then. Barnet 1, Dagenham 0, Fylde 0, Braintree 2, Aldershot 3, Gateshead 1, Boston 2, Woking 2 as City have it at the back. Halifax 1, Yeovil 0, Eastleigh 1, Hartlepool 1, Felix is fouled in the centre circle, Maidenhead 0, Sutton 1, Rochdale 4, Wealdstone 1, Solihull 2, Ebbsfleet 1, Southend 2, Altrincham 1, Tamworth 1, Oldham 1. All the full-time scores in the National League this afternoon. Still goalless here, 25 minutes gone on BBC Radio York. City a little bit more back in the game, probably even Stevens now.
I think so, yeah. I think the last 10-15 minutes City have looked like they've settled into the pace of the match. They definitely had more of the ball.
Long ball forward, looking for Hunt, who's burst forward. Doesn't reach him though, and they have it on this near side. Osadebe
don't foul.
Goes back towards his byline, and it's cleared then by Innis. Adam Hitchwood, good first touch, Adam.
Love it.
Cushioned the ball straight to Joe Felix.
That's where Jack gets that first touch from.
Oh, the fourth official's come to have a go at Adam Hitchwood for leaving his technical area.
Oh,
to do that.
Dear me. Dear me.
Got to appreciate the skill, fourth official. Come on, get with the programme.
Oh, word.
Infield it comes, Luamba. He goes back once more to Howe. Howe, now to Fagan Walcott. To this left-hand side to Nathaniel George. Nathaniel George, round the corner it goes forward to Pearce. He's forced wide left. Pearce is allowed to turn. Beyond Osadebe, can get a cross in, which he does, straight to a green-shirted player, and he puts into touch for a throw in by the corner flag to York City, still 0-0.
Yeah, there wasn't much on for Ollie Pearce there, and I think he just thought, you know what, I'm going to get my head down, try and hit the byline and put the ball across, and that's all he did, and he's got a throw in.
Felix comes across to take. Gives it to Richardson on the goal line. Richardson tries to turn his man, wins a second throw in off McAllister. Ball girl gets up to get the ball. It's on one of the frost sheets that's down there. Not going to need that. Well, you might need it tonight. You're not going to need it on today, though. It's beautiful.
I think you've got a little bit of sun there, David, as well. Your head's
doesn't take much.
Yeah. Felicia Beacon playing any planes flying across tonight could. Cross
it goes. Well, it's like the Only Fools and Horses episode.
Yeah. Two redheads here.
Yeah, well, with the satellite dish on top of their flat, which is in Bristol, which is where I'm staying next weekend when York City are at Yeovil. Richardson, the ball forced at the edge of the area. His shot again is blocked. It comes back up to halfway for Fagan Walcott. Across this left-hand side, him and Nathaniel George leave it to each other. Then Nathaniel George takes care of the situation. He comes infield and gives it to Callum Howe. Yeah, big old long trip next week, longest of the season. And York City go to Yeovil. Back for a 3 o'clock kick-off next Saturday. Batty to Howe. Back again to Dan Batty. Batty again to Callum Howe. Now to the right-hand side to Luamba. King, who's come in field. Adam Hitchwood, how frustrated with Jeff King, because he turned backwards again instead of going forwards.
Yeah.
Batty now tries to cross-field ball. Osadebe gets his head to it once more and finds McAllister, who tries to turn away from Joe Felix, but Joe Felix gets the better of him. Nathaniel George. But again, Nathaniel George, his first thought when he got the ball off Joe Felix was to go backwards rather than go forwards back to Felix.
And this is when managers
right in front of Hinchelwood.
Yeah, when managers talk about being brave, bravery on the ball. He wants his players to risk, take the risk positively. If you fail, but you've got to be brave at times.
Nathaniel George again goes back to Fagan Walcott. He served them so well this season.
Yeah.
But there are times when you can see that the manager down there isn't happy with the amount of backwards passes, and he's talked about maybe mixing it up a little bit more. That's a nice ball forward from Nathaniel George. Hunt finds some space now to Richardson on this left-hand side where he finds himself. Back to Hunt, can get a cross in if he wants, goes around the corner to Nathaniel George. He gives it to Richardson. Richardson on his right foot gets a deep cross into the box, round the back, free header, it's put over the bar. Jeff King had burst forward, tight angle, he couldn't direct it back towards goal, and it's about a yard over the bar.
It was a right back's header, unfortunately. That was a great ball in from Richardson. He's seen Jeff King has made a great run. I think Jeff King will be unhappy there. Head it down, head it back across the face of the goal, head it down anywhere but where you did what you did, really. It was never going in.
No, it wasn't. It looked nice, but you're right. The goal needed to be a couple of foot taller.
Yeah, just head it down. Yeah. Easy from here, but it's half a chance.
Forest Green playing out from the back here. Make a note of that in your book down there, Ian. This doesn't happen very often.
Playing from the back.
Into midfield for Garrick. And he gives it to McCann. McCann, tackled by Richardson, but keeps hold of the ball well. McCann tries to get the ball back. The referee says just a little bit too much harrying there from Richardson in the centre of the midfield. Adam Hinshelwood not happy again. He turns away in disgust, down his haunches, shaking his head at the fourth official.
I think the referee gave that for the instance literally a second before when Richardson's arms are on the...
Long ball downfield. They've gone to sleep here. The big gap in between the two centre-backs. Howe manages to get there. Cardwell running the wrong direction there. And then Richardson does really well to turn away from the Forest Green man who loses his shin guard. Richardson bursts forward. City getting numbers forward. Hunt's the furthest forward. Richardson slips though as he plays it, and it's straight to a man in green. They can now come forward like a basketball match, end to end, the last 30 seconds. They've got room as well on this right hand side. He's got to feed McAllister, I think, is McCann. He does. McAllister's around the back, crossing position near the corner flag. Gets the ball under control. He's going to come back square though, I think, down the line. Now he plays it into the middle. Man's there, first time shot, pulled it wide. King's there to hook it into touch for a throw in far side of the field. It felt as though the man who burst forward there, I think it was actually Adam May, didn't know whether to take on the shot or put a cross in.
Yeah, it was a cross shot, wasn't it? It didn't really make his mind up, and thankfully for City, it didn't cause too many problems. But yeah, Adam Hinshelwood was so annoyed there with Lewis Richardson. He could have passed Nathaniel George in, and he didn't. And
there are ironic cheers from the York City supporters because the first time this afternoon we hear the Forest Green fans, and it's only because they've got a long Ben Tozer throw.
This is where they can have a lot of joy from, can't they?
Yeah. And he's pulling up his socks, leans back against the advertising hoarding. It's about 15 yards away from the corner flags. This is coming into the York City penalty area. This is also something we talked about yesterday with Adam Hinshelwood.
Well, you know exactly what's happening here. It's just defend it like you defend a corner.
And it comes now to the near post. Callum Howe does and heads it back to Tozer. Puts it in first time. Just lofts it into the penalty area. Innes wins the header at the back post. Then Garrick falls to Cardwell. Offside flag goes up. A bit of a fresh air swipe anyway from Cardwell.
Yeah, I mean, even that, Cardwell, he didn't know it was
Vale could have gone quick there because Pearce was one-on-one at the back, and it wasn't with the two big guys.
Yeah, they were still up here.
They were.
Upfield.
He was back with Jamie Robson, but he decided to hold on to it a little bit too long. Now he gives it to Felix on this left-hand side. He comes forward over halfway. Gets past McAllister. Felix, nice ball to Nathaniel George round the back. Osademi comes to meet him. He beats him to it, Nathaniel George, and then he throws himself to the ground. Osademi's going to get a yellow card. He went down a little bit in instalments there, Nathaniel George. He felt the touch, thought the ball then was going to get away from him, which it did, so decided to go down a step after he probably should have done.
Yeah.
But he still gets the decision, and the defender gets yellow.
Yeah, there was enough of a foul there. Yeah, it's one of them. Is it a yellow? Probably, because he got past him. But Nathaniel George looking quite sharp down this left-hand side, and he will now relish the opportunity to take on Olusedebu, is it?
So the free kick, is about 4 yards outside the penalty area on this left-hand side. About 7 or 8 yards away from the dead ball line. In fact, no, it's a little bit further, isn't it? 'Cause it's almost level with the penalty spot, but 4 or 5 yards outside the penalty area on this left-hand side of the field.
I'm guessing City will have worked on something. This looks like
Hunt's over it. Batty's there with his back. Plays it to Batty. Back to Hunt. And it comes down. Near post. Flicked on. And they're going to clear their lines of Forest Green.
Yeah. Decent free kick from Alex Hunt. And Callum Howe was the intended target. He did get his header, but then it's just into the Forest Green pack of defenders.
Felix back again on the centre spot. Gives it now to this left-hand side. Hunt. Forest Green still got everyone back here. But Hunt doesn't want to just load it into the box. He goes back to Felix once more. Felix Goes to Batty. I was really impressed with the way Alex Hunt spoke to me actually after the game, after the defeat on Tuesday night, when we had a chat with him. That's available on BBC Sounds and on our Twitter feed at BBC York Sport if you didn't hear that. There was no feeling sorry for themselves after Tuesday. They knew they did all right in that second half especially. Should have got something from the game, and it was all focused immediately for today's game.
Yeah. There's good signs the other night.
King to Luamba. He comes in field. Luamba runs at the defenders. Gives it to Hunt, who drops deep. Hunt turns, does a full 360 before giving it back to Luamba on the right hand side. He runs at Robson. Sends Robson the dummy. Comes in field. Gives it to King. Thought about putting a cross in. Then he's tackled by Garrick, is King. Puts his arm out to try and stop him, and Garrick's run that into touch. That'll be a York City throw in. Garrick walks away with the ball. Still 0-0. 34 minutes gone. 11 minutes to the break here on BBC Radio York. King takes the throw in back to Howe. Howe to Fagan Walcott. Fagan Walcott to this left hand side to Nathaniel George. Nathaniel George down the line to Richardson. Richardson gets past his man easily, gets past Innes. Richardson now crossed into the box, headed clear by Tozer as far as Hunt, who tries to nod it back in. Osadebe, the man with the yellow card, nods it out to Felix. Fagan Walcott goes back into halfway to Howe. Now Batty.
Oh, that's good.
He turns away from Cardwell, does Dan Batty, and gives it on this near side to Fagan Walcott. Back to Callum Howe. 10 minutes to go until the break. Still goalless on BBC Radio York. Howe forward, overhit. King can't get there. Tozer lays it off to Robson on the far side of the field, and then he comes infield to give it to May. Back it goes to Tozer. Tozer across the face of his 6-yard box to Innes. He dinks it into midfield. McAllister tries to flick it on, but only as far as Dan Batty. And then Hunt didn't see Serkin bursting forward. He won the ball there, and Forest Green get it, and then that's just a lofted ball over the top. Fagan Walcott will get there first, and he nods it back to Harrison Mayle. He bowls it out immediately to Howe. Howe comes forward, gives it to King. Again, he put the brakes on, did Jeff King, instead of giving it to Luamba.
Yeah, and that outlet of Luamba hasn't really been utilised so much in the last 5-10 minutes. I do think he's got a lot to offer out there. Likewise with Nathaniel George, who is seeing more of the ball.
He is. He gets it now on this left. Plays it down the line to Richardson, who's come out to this near side to help him out. Richardson once more. And again, Adam Richardson saying to Richardson, pointing where he should have played it in field, further forward, rather than going back to Fagan Walcott.
Or around the corner into Ollie Pearce's feet. I think that is the game plan. Try and get it into Pearce's feet.
Howe to Felix, far side of the ground. Luamba tries to beat his man. Wins York City a throw in. Halfway inside the Forest Green half. Excuse me. King takes the throw in to Hunt, gets it back. There's Jeff King. Back it goes once more to Alex Hunt. Hunt back into the centre circle to Fagan Walcott. Forest Green, everyone back behind the ball. Now to this near side to Nathaniel George. Just outside the penalty area. He's got 2 men to try and beat. Gives it instead to Joe Felix. Felix to Hunt. Centre of the goal, 35 yards. He plays it forward, laid off by Luamba, but wasn't a great lay off by Luamba, and Batty didn't read it. The green shirts are able to get it back.
Again, City in a good position on the edge of the box there. Alex Hunt playing it into feet. It's just about reading that touch. It maybe wasn't the best touch, and Dan Batty certainly wasn't getting the end of it.
Serkin. Around the corner it goes onto that far side to Garrick, who's dropped deep. Given away though to Richardson. Richardson being pressured, but he comes away with the ball and gives it to Hunt. Hunt from the angle takes on the shot from the edge of the penalty area, that far side of the penalty area. It's blocked immediately, and then it just stops as if it was been a bit of a mud bath over that far side. And Forest Green can now come forward on this right hand side. McAllister pretty open as he comes forward down this right. Again, Joe Felix puts the stop on him initially. Still got it as McAllister. Has to go back to Osadebe. City now do have everyone back. Round the corner it goes forward from May. And that's put behind. That'll be a goal kick. I'm not really sure what McCann's tried to do there. He just belted that into his own set of fans behind the goal. 0-0.
Yeah, it was the weirdest thing. He knew, it's almost like he knew he couldn't get under control, so he just kicked it out.
It was. He's running out of space.
Yeah.
I'll belt it into the crowd and waste a few seconds while we all get back in position.
Yeah, strange.
Rather than even trying to put my foot on it, stop it.
Yeah, or see what happens.
Keep it in play.
Yeah.
Very strange. Fagan Walcott for City, who continue to try and play out from the back. Gives it to Felix. Felix, nice looking ball over the top for Nathaniel George. He's got beyond the defender, and it's good covering from him. Puts it behind for a York City corner. Their third of this first period.
That was a lovely ball outside the foot, sort of chip flick by Joe Felix, and Nathaniel George chasing it down, but was it the big lad, wasn't it, Innes? Just opened his legs up and got to the ball before Ashley Nathaniel George. But it's a corner.
One of the backroom staff for Forest Green is in the ear of the fourth official down there.
What? It's another corner. I'm not convinced that Forest Green's defending from corners. Certainly the two that we've had have caused a few problems. I think maybe even surprised City. The lack of ability to win that ball. And they're big lads.
Batty's come across again to take it. Nathaniel George is there if he wants to go short. No, Batty puts it in deep round the back. Fagan Walcott wins the header, can't direct it towards goal, and that'll be a goal kick. But Fagan Walcott might keep that in play actually, far side. He can't, and it does go behind. It's Luamba, isn't it, actually?
Yeah. It's clever actually. The corners have all isolated the group of big players. They've tried. Batty, I think 2 times now, has beaten all of them and sort of isolated one-on-one, and Malachi Fagan Walcott on that occasion. He won the header, but he didn't get a clean connection on it.
Again, goalkeeper taking his time, and the referee Tozer was trying to tell him no, bring it back across this side of the box, waste even more seconds, but he doesn't. He just lays it off to him instead. Howe again gets the better of Cardwell, as he has done from the start virtually this afternoon, and again it goes all the way back through to Morozek, the Forest Green goalkeeper.
Yeah, Callum Howe's marshalled Cardwell really well so far, as he's done to most strikers this season, David. He's been superb, Callum Howe.
5 minutes to go till the half-time whistle. And it's cleared downfield. Cardwell flicks this one on, but Joe Felix is there and gives it to Richardson. Kansas City scores, we head towards the break. He gives it to Nathaniel George on this left-hand side. He comes forward, then comes in field. Back it goes to Felix. Felix again back to Batty in the centre, just outside the centre circle. He sends it to the right hand side to Jeff King. King puts a cross into the box.
Oh yes!
Too near to the goalkeeper, who was able to gather.
It was a decent ball in, I think. I'm not sure it was what he intended, but it was a dangerous ball because it just bounced in front of Morozek, didn't it? And Pearce could have made it a good ball.
I thought it was a terrible ball. To be perfectly honest, straight to the goalkeeper.
He definitely didn't intend that, but it caused the goalkeeper problems. I thought Pearce wasn't a million. I might be wrong.
I think they all leave it to each other, and they made a bit of hash of it. But I thought it was a terrible ball in from King. Really,
but it shows you the deficient that back line of Forest Green maybe not so sure of themselves.
Round the corner, over the head of Fagan Walcott. Cardwell's through, but he's forced. It's awful first touch from Cardwell. Forced himself out the penalty area. Pulls it back into the middle. Shot comes in, blocked and cleared by Fagan Walcott. Down the left-hand side, they have it now, just outside the box. That's a good tackle from King. Heavy challenge, but a good one. But the green shirts keep hold of it. Still got the big men forward here. And that's sent forward. Appeals for offside. It's going to go out, is it? The linesman keeps his flag down. Forest Green have the ball by the corner flag, far side of the field. Now it's played into the penalty area. Now they do give it away, and Luamba can come clear with for York City. Back it goes to Jeff King. King to Batty. Batty down the right-hand side. Long ball over the top. Tozer back tracking, manages to head it forward. Then a Forest Green man goes to ground, looking for the free kick. Nothing given by the referee, but they still have it in the centre of the midfield. May to this near side. McAllister, nice little dummy. Also Debbie, who keeps it in play well. And he gets past Nathaniel George, who then gets back in for the challenge. Does really well, Nathaniel George. Also Debbie's still got it. The Forest Green fans think there should have been a handball there, not given. And then he's been pulled over. That should be a yellow card for Nathaniel George.
I think there was a handball in there when he was on the ground, Nathaniel George. Almost like a goalkeeper scooping the ball away.
It is a yellow card for Nathaniel George, and it's a free kick just outside the penalty area on this right-hand side in a really dangerous position. Joe Felix doesn't like the yellow card, but I'm afraid that's a nailed-on yellow card for Nathaniel George. Yeah,
he's got his hands all over the Forest Green player, and there was a handball in there as well.
I think the handball was unintentional, but the rugby tackle, you do go into the book for that.
Yeah. Yeah, he got landed on there, Nathaniel George. It could be so.
He's up. There's the yellow card shown. The Forest Green fans are enjoying that. So both players down this side. Forest Green's Ossa Davey and Nathaniel George for York City. The two men to have got yellow cards in this first half. City needs to do some defending here, though, with 2.5 minutes to go till half time.
Yeah, must remain. Have the concentration here.
Again, City's leaving everyone back. Something else discussed yesterday in that chat with Adam Hinshelwood. No one upfield. 2 over the ball. And it comes now from McAllister to the near post, sent to the goal, headed clear by Jeff King. Back out it comes to May again on this near side. Again, McAllister. McAllister gets the ball back as he opens up a bit of an angle. Now he puts a cross in. It's a deep one round the back post. Just over hit. The Forest Green players think all seem to leave it to each other and it goes out for a goal kick.
I'm amazed. The guy at the back end, Innes, I think, he's almost like he got caught out. He didn't think the ball was going to reach him. He was, 3 yards out if the ball... My word, I think he's just missed one there, David.
We'll have a look again in a minute when we see the replay. Yeah. City playing out from the back and they give it to Howe. Howe on the right-hand side of the defence gives it to King. So McAllister puts the ball in.
Yeah.
And it is Innes who's round the back. His hands on head from Cardwell. He was nowhere near it.
Yeah, Cardwell, no chance. No, but Innes just didn't expect it to come, I don't think.
He could see it the whole way, though, as well. Yeah. So he should have done better there, I think.
Yeah. So a couple of incidents for City to be wary of. But other than that, I think City have had the majority of the play this first half.
Majority of the play. No real clear-cut chance of the ball across the box.
Yeah, there was ball across the box, yeah.
Neither goalkeepers had a save to make.
No.
Obviously, the obvious chance is Garrick's.
There's bits of things. Garrick's
bad miss in the opening 3 or 4 minutes for Forest Green.
Yeah, and right in front of the TV camera there as well. Maybe had an eye on that.
Cleared by Harrison Mayle. Bit of a lull in the atmosphere, 30 seconds until half-time. Garrick's beaten King to it on the left. King trying to get back. Kept hold of it, though, as Jordan Garrick. Now he lays it off to Cardwell, who stays on side. Cardwell has to go back into midfield. Deep cross to McAllister at this right-hand side. Brings it under control with his left foot. Lays it off to Osadebe. That's a first-time cross in with a bit of power, and it falls kindly for Forest Green in the centre of the goal. Good block. Maybe slightly fortunate as well, the way it fell to him, but it was blocked by Fagan Walcott, and City are able to clear. But they haven't won the ball back. McAllister again sends it forward, edge of the area for McCann. McCann now to May. He takes on the shot. That's high, and that's into the seats behind the goal. And that's half-time. No added time, the referee says. Half-time here. It's goalless. What do we make of that, Ian Dunn?
I think it's been an even game. It's been fairly exciting, bit end-to-endy, without, like you say, David, without any real clear-cut chances for the keepers to deal with. It's been a good game. I think it needs a little bit of something in that second half, though, for City to really turn it into a great game. They're not far off.
Yeah, a good game, not a great game. I think that's a fair summation. Forest Green, though, one gilt-edged chance that they missed in the opening few minutes. Jordan Garrick should have burst the net. He got completely under it and hit it over the bar. Way over the bar when he had virtually an empty goal to shoot at from 10 yards out. At half-time here, it's York City 0, Forest Green 0.
Thanks, David. Thanks, Ian. Second half commentary to come then here on BBC Radio York. We're with you through until 8 o'clock. So reaction to follow at the conclusion of this game at the LNAR Community Stadium. We also want to hear what you think of your team as well. Text is on 81333. Please start your message with the word York. You can tweet us at BBC York Sport or on WhatsApp 08000 321 333. Please start your message with the word York. What did you think of that first 45 minutes? Or if you're a Harrogate Town and Scarborough Athletic fan and you are still with us, what did you think of your team's performances this afternoon? Scarborough Athletic losing 3-0 at Kidderminster Harriers. Harrogate Town snatching a dramatic late win with a goal very, very close to the final whistle from Ellis Taylor, which has now apparently gone down as an own goal. But a 1-0 win for them against Carlisle United. Reaction to come from both of those games as well before 8 o'clock. Thank you if you've been in touch. Thank you if I didn't get round to your comments, and apologies before the kick-off. Ian and Flynn in Devon, they say that Flynn's adamant it'll be a 3-0 home win that's on the cards. Such a shame, says Ian, that Barnett nabbed a goal, as that could have kept it interesting. There's going to have to go some in the second half for a 3-0, but you never know. Sam also on Twitter says, better team so far without really challenging their keeper. Stones on for Richardson. Felix has been amazing as always. The South Stand is electric. Andy, another one who isn't there this evening but listening. He's also on a sun lounger, this time in St Lucia. Lovely. Great to have King starting, he says. He's been good since he's been back in the team. Thank you, Andy. Hope you have a nice holiday. And likewise, Nigel the Gardener in Fuerteventura, where it's apparently been quite windy. Let's hope, he says, it blows in 3 points for City. Obviously, he says this isn't an easy match, so let's hope for a decent performance. Good luck to Junior Luamba. He looks a pacey player. The main concern, he said before kick-off, was the long throw-ins that might test Harrison Mayle. Thank you. Keep your comments coming. 81333 on the text. Start your message, please, with the word York. Tweet us at BBC York Sport or on WhatsApp. It's 08000 321 333. Again, please start those messages with the word York.
Weekday afternoons from 2.
With Toby Foster.
Have you ever had a dressing gown?
I had one.
once that I set fire to by mistake. I was walking, I don't know why, but I got a lighter in the pocket of this dressing gown. I was 16 as well.
Right.
And I was walking downstairs in my dressing gown, flicking this lighter in my pocket for some reason, and it just went whoosh, it just went up.
Oh dear.
Yeah, which is when my dad found out that I smoked. He was like, why do you have a lighter in your pocket? I saw it from the barbecue the other day, and it was February. When we haven't had a barbecue. Oh, all right, well, there's something I need to tell you.
Weekday afternoons from 2.
Toby Foster.
BBC Radio York.
So half-time then at the LNER Community Stadium. It's goalless between York City and Forest Green. Second half commentary to come here on BBC Radio York and on BBC Sounds as well. Earlier in the afternoon in League 2, Harrogate Town picked up a crucial win against bottom of the table Carlisle United. It was a late goal that won it for them. 1-0 it finished, and afterwards Peter Spencer spoke to Simon Weaver.
Well, Simon, a real nail-biter. Talk me through the performance first of all.
Yeah, it was a relentless game. It was a relentless grind. And to win it at the end, it's just another magic moment, really. You know, I think it was a great performance in terms of character and being resilient and digging in, and there were big moments in there like from James Belshaw, and we had to defend well and get last-ditch blocks and tackles in. So it was an old school game with two teams that knew what the stakes were high. So buzzing to get the winner right at the death.
It was end-to-end in injury time. As you mentioned, James Belshaw made a save right in the 94th minute, just before Ellis Taylor sends it goalwards. What a couple of minutes for you at both ends of the pitch, really. Yeah,
huge moment, that save, because it's completely different complexion now compared to what it would have looked if that chance had gone in for them and Bally wasn't there to save us. But then we had one more moment in front of goal after that, and capitalised on it, and by hook or by crook it ended in the bottom corner. I was right behind it, and it was one of the best moments I've had for ages.
I don't think it'll go down as Ellis Taylor's goal, but he deserves a lot of credit for putting it goalwards as well, and keeping the opportunity alive.
Yeah, we can say don't be shot shy. You know, sometimes it ends up off someone else's backside or heel, and it ended up, I think it was a heel this time, but so what? You know, the feeling's the same as if it was a top corner effort from 30 yards. It won us the game.
You rode your luck at times. At times I thought you struggled to clear your 6-yard box. Was that a concern? I mean, by hook or by crook, you did get it clear, but was that a concern throughout the game?
Just a bit, yeah. It tired me out, shattered now, because there were moments where time stood still and I'm thinking, just clear the ball. You know, height and distance, what you taught at 10, 11 years old, but sometimes it got stuck under people's bodies and under their feet, and whether the energy was sapped out of people because of the pressure, I don't know, but however, we got a clean sheet.
You were forced into a change early on, Levi Sutton having to be withdrawn, and you replaced him with Stephen Dooley. First of all, how's Levi?
Yeah, sore. It's another hamstring problem. Goes with Tom Hill, who pulled his hamstring in the week, and he'll be without games now. We'll be without him for the rest of the season, unfortunately. But hopefully Levi, it's not too bad. He stops at the right moment. He just got fouled and pulled up at that time, and he felt his hamstring.
You replaced him with Stephen Dooley, and did you feel actually that change gave you a bit more kind of possession and a bit more kind of calmness in the midfield? I think it was just that situation in the game where it's about half an hour in where the steam got taken out of it inevitably, but he's the right kind of player, we thought at that moment, to settle. He settled very quickly with his first touch, and he scans the air, knows what's on, so he's a good player in possession. Ben Fox as well in the midfield, really sort of bossed things, deserved his man of the match as well, but again had to be withdrawn. How disappointed were you to see him pull up as well? Well, he's just had a lack of game time this year, so I could see him stretching, and I didn't want him to get injured, but then he knew he was cramping up, so it was the right time for him to come off. But how immense was he? First half, he was absolute driving force. So he's not injured; it's just it was a precautionary cramp to bring him off. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. James Belshaw, we spoke about him and the injury time save, but there was a presentation before the game today for his 250th Harrogate Town appearance to mark the occasion. How immense has he been over this second spell, but both spells really for you here? Well, he's two immense spells with us, and it's not stopping now, that's for sure. We want to get into another chapter, yeah. But I think as a younger keeper, he was great, superb. But now he's brought that the leadership qualities second time round, more experienced, knows the game, obviously, second to none, and he's just a guy who
thrives on pressure and delivering big moments.
3 wins here now at the Exercise Stadium, 3 consecutive home wins here. How good does that feel?
Feels really good. Unbeaten in 6 as well, I think, at home. I mean, it's been needed. It's had to be done, and the lads have delivered.
So no Jack Muldoon today and no James Daly as well. Just give us an update on what's kind of keeping them out at the moment.
Yeah, James has been ill for about a week. He has come in for a little bit of training, but you could see he was blowing yesterday, and it's just too early for him. And who else did you mention?
Jack Muldoon.
Yeah, Muller's has actually got a problem with his eye, and I also texted him night before last, and he said he wasn't getting much empathy. He said from the staff, not in our staff, but NHS and over where he lives. So I was feeling for him, and but it really can't come up, and it could be a problem for a couple of weeks.
Okay, you've got Newport County next. I guess you got to go again. They don't get any easier here, but the fact that you're now 13 points clear of Carlisle, that must be a bit more kind of breathing room at the bottom. Have you achieved this next target for your side now?
With 10 games to go, we wanted to be 10 points away from the bottom at least, and so of course we've reached that milestone. But there's always something we're not mathematically safe yet, so we have to seal the deal. And the minute you slack up, you look over. I mean, you look at their squad today. No one would have thought they'd be bottom of the league at this stage. But with the kind of quality they have got, you never know. There were some close moments today. So they could go on a run. Morecambe always dig in. Everyone's fighting for their lives. But now's a good moment. And Newport next week, we'll travel there on Friday and be professional. There can be no cutting corners. But if we want to be relentless every Saturday, we have to be even more so in training. Just
a final word on the crowd today. Over 4,000 here at the Exercise Stadium. I think it's the biggest crowd of the season so far. How immense were the home support here?
Well, I think they were brilliant. I think it really makes a difference. We said to the players in the presentation of the pre-match presentation tour that they're turning out for us. And it gives us an opportunity to impress upon them our attitude and at first, it's all about attitude here, but they're coming because they can sense something's happening. The momentum's with us, and it's only they're moving forwards now because of the efforts of you lads. They're seeing something, a sea change here, and hopefully we proved it again, and they go home happy because they were also relentless right behind us.
Harrogate Town manager Simon Weaver, a 1-0 win for them today, and that's really put a bit more daylight between themselves and the bottom few teams of the table. We'll have a look at the league tables after the conclusion of the York City game. They're taking on Forest Green Rovers at the moment, and we will, of course, be back with the commentary team, David and Ian, for the start of the second half. Keep your comments coming as well. We'll go through a few more in a few moments' time. But before we do that, let's just look back at the day's early kick-off in the Premier League. Nottingham Forest, they strengthened their position in third after beating fourth place Manchester City 1-0 at the City Ground. Callum Hudson-Odoi scored the only goal 7 minutes from time to move Forest 4 points clear of City. Afterwards, Forest coach Nuno Espirito Santo spoke to Guy Mowbray.
The organisation, the resilience, realising how hard it was to play against City, covering the spaces, trying to give them nothing, but it's always very difficult because they have chances. But we have a big improvement from last season. Now it's about enjoying the moment, realizing that we are in a good place. Another day for our fans to be happy and keep on going our journey.
Well, let's hear as well from the Manchester City manager now, Pep Guardiola. He's also been speaking to Guy Mowbray.
Well, Pep, tell us your thoughts after that defeat.
But that game, and we control the long balls to boot, the second balls mainly, and the transition. But at the end, one action that we have the ball to make a transition, we lost it, and they make a transition that time, and they finish well.
What needed to be better from your team to get the result today?
We have it's not easy to play against them, so the reason why they defend well. We had the first half 3 or 4 chances with the shoot in the penalty spot. That was quite clear. We could not be positive with that, and after second half was a little bit more tight. We conceded one chance from Hudson-Odoi with a post, and the rest the goal, but we didn't concede much as well. So at the end, the balance for them.
We saw you on the touchline gesturing to your players in the first half and the second. Did you want more pace in the game? Did you want the ball moved quicker?
Yeah, it was slow. Yeah. We struggled to break the lines, to find the spaces. We struggled.
So the scores today then in the Premier League. Other than that one, obviously, which we'll start with: Nottingham Forest 1, Manchester City 0, Brighton 2, Fulham 1, Crystal Palace 1, Ipswich 0, Liverpool 3, Southampton 1, Brentford 0, Aston Villa 0 is a half-time score, and Wolves against Everton kicks off at 8 o'clock. In case you missed it earlier, let me go through today's scores from the National League. Barnet 1, Dagenham and Redbridge 0, Aldershot 3, Gateshead 1, Boston 2, Woking 2, Eastleigh 1, Hartlepool United 1, Fylde 0, Braintree 2, Halifax 1, Yeovil 0, Maidenhead 0, Sutton United 1, Rochdale 4, Wealdstone 1, Solihull Moors 2, Ebbsfleet United 1, Southend 2, Altrincham 1, Tamworth 1, Oldham 1, and at half-time it's York City 0, Forest Green Rovers 0.
On every street in North Yorkshire, there's someone with a heart of gold.
I raise money for families in need.
A great neighbour, an incredible volunteer, an outstanding fundraiser.
And I think it's just great that more and more people are doing more.
Together, they make a difference.
Without them, I wouldn't be here today.
Now it's your chance to celebrate their kindness.
To nominate someone for a BBC Make a Difference award, go to bbc.co.uk/make a difference, where you can see a list of categories, full terms and our privacy notice.
Nominations are open now and close on the 31st of March at 5 p.m.
BBC Radio York.
Teams just starting to come back out onto the pitch. I can hear the announcement at the LNER Community Stadium at half-time. It's York City 0, Forest Green 0. And joining us for commentary is Jason Donovan. Oh no, my mistake, it's David Ward. You were having a bit of a croon there, weren't you, David, at half-time?
Me? No, I was if Jason Donovan's involved, there's only one York City fan you can talk about, and that is Vicky Fennick. Massive Jason
She's not
Donovan
doing commentary though, and half the audience don't know who she is.
She's not doing well. Maybe they don't. Who knows? Yes, let's crack on. The team's coming back out for the start of this second half. York City, I'm trying to see if there are any changes, because I don't think there are, but I don't think they'll be too far away in this second half if things remain as they are, goalless at the half time. I'm just getting a little bit buzzing in my cans. I'm not quite sure where that is coming from, if I'm being perfectly honest. We will try and sort that out for you. So York City line up with it like this as Forest Green come out too, and the referee. Mail in goal, back four: Felix Howe, Fagan Walcott and King, Hunt, Batty, Nathaniel George, Luamba, Richardson and Pearce. A round of applause is for Harrison Mail, who walks in front of the goal in front of the south stand. Forest Green almost ready to start. They're not making changes either. Fabian Rosick is their goalkeeper. They're back four: Jamie Robson, Ben Tozer, Ryan Innes and Emmanuel Osadavy. In midfield, Charlie McCann, Adam May and Liam Sercombe. And then the three up front: McAllister wide right, Jordan Garrick, who should have scored in the first half, wide left, and Harry Cardwell through the centre. Referee still checking his watch, and we now do get underway in the second half with York City shooting towards the Forest Green fans in the north stand away to my right hand side. Goalkeeper clears long downfield onto the head once more of Callum Howe. He gives it in field, and it's picked up then by a green shirt on this right hand side. Falls kindly for Garrick, cleared as far, York City clear as far as Luamba. Then Hunt sends it forward, looking for Ollie Pearce over the top. Pearce can't get there, he's beaten to the ball, and it comes back into midfield. Forest Green looking for that over the top. Well fielded there by Fagan Walcott, who once again got the better of Harry Cardwell, who didn't get much change out of either York City centre-backs in that first half. And now they come forward down this left-hand side, the Forest Green. Robson bursts forward, good tackle as the ball hits him in the face from the York City captain Callum Howe. Batty then gets there on the end of that, and he's able to turn and clear downfield. Into touch it goes, throw in to Forest Green, just short of halfway. Former York City striker Ian Dunn, your thoughts at the start of this second half?
Yeah, I just think it feels like a game that needs a goal, David, and hopefully it's for York City, but I think both teams have sort of felt each other out for the first half there, and it was end to end but without any real decisive moments, if that makes sense. So the second half is all about York City keeping the composure, keeping it tight at the back, and can we affect the Forest Green goal a little bit more, actually test Mrozek?
Well, whatever happens here today, the ending can't be as bad as it was the last time Forest Green came to town. Of course, that was at Bootham Crescent on the final day of the season when York City were relegated to National North back in 2017 under Gary Mills. The silence at the end of that 2-2 draw, I think that'll probably live with everyone forever.
One of those moments.
Into touch it goes once more, and Forest Green have another throw in halfway inside their own half. On this left-hand side, as Tozer gets ready to launch it long down this near side. Cardwell once more beaten to it, this time by Luamba. Another throw in to Forest Green. And Ollie Pearce goes to get the ball. The ball's right by the feet of the linesman there. Just refused to give it to Tozer, so Ollie Pearce went to get it to get the game back underway.
It's crazy, isn't it? I'm sure they're told not to get involved, but come on.
Jeff King clears for York City via Joe Felix. But Forest Green get it back. McAllister round the back on that right hand side. It was a scuffed clearance. McAllister's forced back to Osadebi, who likes to get forward from right back. McAllister across the face of the penalty area. There's a little pull there on the shirt of Garrick by Jeff King, not spotted by the referee. City struggling to clear it, and they do now through Luamba. Luamba looking for Pearce. Does good. Well, does really well to hold it up, and then Hunt down the front. Richardson through on goal. Richardson 1-on-1 round the back. First, it's not great. Over the goalkeeper. Into the net. Lewis Richardson with his first goal for York City. Brilliant hold up play from Ollie Pearce. He lays it off back to Alex Hunt. Over the top. Richardson bursts forward, and he got there on the stretch. Lifted it over the goalkeeper, Rozek. Into the back of the net it rolls. York City lead by 1-0.
Oh, what a move, what a move. I just seen it a fraction of a second earlier. I thought, he missed the opportunity, Ollie Pearce. But no, he had it under control, David. And he's put the perfect through ball. And a great run from Richardson. That's what he's in there for. His first touch wasn't brilliant, but his second was absolutely clinical. What a goal.
His first touch on his thigh, you're right, it wasn't perfect. It just got away from him.
Yeah.
But he still had the wherewithal to get there. And on the stretch, as the goalkeeper came to meet him, he just lifted it over him with his right foot into the back of the net.
Oh, it's a beautiful finish. They're the ones the cameras love to see as well. You just lift it over that keeper's head. What a finish from Richardson that was.
If ever a game needed a goal, this was it, because that's the first thing the goalkeeper's been called into action.
It did, it needed it. We all said it at half time, it feels like it needs a goal. Hopefully it's York City. Well, we've got it. What a finish.
The timing of the run is perfect, and a lovely little pitching wedge down the centre of the field from Alex Hunt to spot the run.
Yeah. Ollie Pearce had the opportunity just prior to that, but he didn't. He did the right thing by laying Alex Hunt, who did the rest with a beautiful assist.
Do you know what? The goalkeeper didn't fancy getting clattered.
No.
He stops.
Yeah.
He stops. He's still a couple of yards to work in at the edge of his box. Now Forest Green come forward down the centre of the pitch with Cardwell. Holds it up, lays it off the far side to McCann. McCann gets across in, deflects behind off Fagan Walcott for Forest Green's first corner of the match.
Yeah, you're going to see Forest Green have got much to lose now. They will go for it, which will leave gaps hopefully for City. If City can ride any storm that Forest Green might throw at them in the next few minutes, gaps will appear for this York City side, I'm sure. That is why Lewis Richardson's in the team as the number 10 today, David. Those runs from deep, and he timed that to absolute perfection.
Mark up here, York City. McAllister slowly walks across and places the ball in the quadrant.
So important these next few minutes, David, to keep this lead.
They've got a 2-on-1 if they want it. McAllister straight into the side netting, is it? No, he goes for the near post. Harrison Mill ends up falling into the side of his net, and it's headed behind again for a corner kick by a York City player who's on the ground. We can't see through the scramble. It's Callum Howe.
I think it's Ollie Pearce. Ollie Pearce won the header at the near stick. Yeah, that was dangerous.
He was going for goal himself, wasn't
he? Well, when he sees the goal, he tends to. That's what Ollie Pearce does.
Second corner. This time they do go short. They've got a man extra over there. Back to McAllister. He pulls it back. Appeals for offside. Nothing given. And it comes into the middle now. Flicks off the head of Callum Howe. And Alex Hunt will try and clear on this near side. But Garrett gets there first. Lays it off. Hunt does well and puts it into touch for a throw in.
Yeah, good play, Alex Hunt. Good win of the header by Callum Howe as well from that corner. The move that materialised after the corner. And Tozer is getting the opportunity to lob one in here, David.
Sticks the ball off his shirt, then stamps all over these frost covers and his big boots.
He's going to have to jump over them, isn't he, with his run?
Well, it's not ideal, is it?
Not ideal.
You want to put a hole through them.
Yeah.
But Tozer's going to launch it in from level with the edge of the penalty area on this left-hand side. Sinclair maybe says something as he does. It's low, it's flat, and Callum Howe gets his head to it, and it comes back to Tozer, who lets it go back into touch for another throw-in.
I'd rather throw it than kick it. You're a football. Oh dear me.
And then it comes again into the middle. Flicked forward by Howe. Then the shot on the volley comes in from May. It's blocked by York City. Fresh air shot. And Felix wins it for York City on the break. They're trying to get men back. Felix to the left hand side to Pearce. Pearce going to run at the defender over that far side at Robson. Gets a deep cross into the box. It's going to find its way all the way to Hunt, who takes on the volley. It's the side netting the corner. It was a tight angle from Alex Hunt, but he went first time. What a goal that would have been if that finds the back of the net.
Oh, and he's got the confidence to have that go. What an effort, Alex Hunt. And do you know what? He was right. You could say bring it down and play it. No, the chance was there to hit it. And my word, it wasn't a million, was it? A foot wide. It was a great effort from Alex Hunt. Great ball from Ollie Pearce. And a great break from Joe Felix. And that's what's going to happen here. Forest Green throw players ahead. City will get chances. What a ball by Ollie Pearce, by the way. That was...
Down that right-hand side, then. Forest Green have it. The tackle comes in. Into touch it goes. Throw in from Forest Green in their defensive third. Ossa Davey. Across the face of the penalty area for Forest Green, then forward to Garrick. Batty beats into the tackle, but falls for Howe. Howe to Luamba. Nice ball infield to Jeff King. King comes forward and come back to Jeff King in a second as he gives away possession. And Gary Offick not too happy with that, and then it's sent forward looking for McAllister. Felix tracks the run. Felix does really well again. He's brilliant, is Joe Felix.
Absolutely.
Back to Mail, who clears.
What a player.
Luamba flicks on as far as Tozer. Then it goes to the big centre-back, Innes. People asking at half-time, and I didn't picked up on it actually in the first half, probably incorrectly, I should have picked up on it. Why has Jeff King not been on the set pieces today when he was on the maul at Hartlepool when Dan Batty was on the pitch?
Interesting, yeah. That's a question for Adam, I think.
Because the deliveries from Dan Batty haven't been great from the three corners that City have had. Down the line it goes, appeals for offside. He's not flagged offside though, Garrick. To the edge of the penalty area, in it comes now. Free header, back post, Cardwell scores.
Cardwell.
It's too easy.
Yeah.
Far too easy. He goes and celebrates in the far corner of the ground. Wasn't picked up. We'll have a look at the replay and see if he should have been flagged offside.
I think Hallam Howard thought the winger who put the ball in was offside, and I wonder if the rest of the defence have sort of, for a fraction of a second, lost concentration. That isn't a great goal to concede at all.
So the ball
he's
comes
not
down
offside.
The line. I don't think he's offside. I think it's probably played on by Fagan Walcott.
And at the back stick, Cardwell is absolutely free as a bird. Oh dear.
Mail gets a hand to it as well, just can't keep it out.
Yeah. City was so important that City kept up that lead for a few more minutes, David, just to try and quell the Forest Green threat. Got to get the heads up now. Go again. And Forest Green might shut up shop a little bit more now. They'll be happy with the score as it is at the moment.
So City get ready to kick off. 1-1 now. 2 goals in the opening 9 minutes of this second half. They equalised on Tuesday evening at Halifax before conceding a second later on in that second half.
Yeah, there'll be chances there. The way City are playing, there will be chances.
Yeah, well, they've only one win in 7 away games of Forest Green.
Wow. A lot of them been draws?
Yeah, but in recent times they've lost at Braintree and Halifax. Last couple of away games. Earlier in the season they lost at Barnet and Oldham as well.
They are the draw specialists, aren't they? 13 draws?
Yeah, away from home, won 7, drawn 7, lost 4.
Wow.
City have it at the back, and there is a slight hush now in the crowd.
Yeah, and then this is where you get behind the team, lift it again, lift the roof off.
Luamba just about finds Howe.
Oh dear.
Didn't have too much on it there. Howe's clearance was blocked.
Could have been
the York City throwing on halfway.
Yeah.
King gets ready to take the throw in. 1-1 BBC Radio York, 81333 on the text. Start your message with the word York, 08000 321 333. Again, start your message with the word York. Crossfield ball to Fagan Walcott at the back. He gives it to Nathaniel George on that left hand side. He comes over halfway, thinks about coming in field, then decides to hug the line before giving it to Felix. Richardson, the goal scorer for York City, can't do much with that, and Forest Green are able to clear. Fagan Walcott to Felix. Felix again gets the better of McAllister. Lovely ball as well to Luamba on this right hand side. Luamba down the line, too much on that, straight into touch. That's far too much of Alex Hunt. How long will he leave it now, the York City manager, before making changes, Ian?
I think your guess is as good as mine, David. I think he feels the team are in a good position. You know, just scored and it looked really positive. Alex Hunt had a chance as well. Does it set back the match plan too much? Maybe not at the moment. But no, Adam, he likes to make a change probably around the hour mark. Be interesting to see what he decides to do.
Long throw from Tozer, up to halfway. Luamba wins it, and there's a bit of head tennis. Cardwell's gone down holding his head. Referee eventually decides to blow up.
It's interesting that Cardwell rolled
one of the
back into
Forest
the
Green players
pitch.
said to the fourth official, there's an elbow, swing an elbow. There's no elbow there. Come on. Absolutely not. Footballers do love a moaning, don't they?
Yeah, and
I know you were one, but they do love a moan.
We weren't like that, honestly. I think the game has changed, and for the worst, to be honest. It's crept into the game over the last 10, 15 years, and it becomes a norm, and it's not a norm. It's not right. You know, you're trying to get your fellow colleagues opponents into trouble with the referee. It's a bit pathetic, to be honest. And Harry Cardwell's okay. He looks like he's in poleaxe, and there's nothing in it. He rolled, and he saw the line where he'd have to roll off the pitch. He rolled back onto it with his bad head. You know, these are big, strapping, fit lads.
He's been allowed to stay on as well.
Yeah, of course he is. He's on the pitch. He knew exactly what he was doing. For some reason, he's killing the game a little bit. Oh dear. Honestly, my teammates, Ronnie Jepson, would have come over to me and told me to get up. That's how the football has changed now. Now, your teammates want the opposition to get red carded.
City clear. Felix Innes doesn't get much distance on his header. High into the sky it goes. Luamba nods forward. Need to see more of Junior Luamba in the second half. And then it's a long ball forward for McAllister on the far side of the field. He controls his back to goal, but under pressure from Joe Felix gives away possession. But then they win it back again. Then Cardwell tries to burst through on that right hand side. Does he get there before Fagan Walcott? He does. Fagan Walcott puts the block in him. That'll be a goal kick.
Well, I mean, it looks like he's got over his head injury anyway, Harry Cardwell.
Yeah, brilliant.
Unbelievable. The Messiah has been here again.
Well, that's where we come to worship on a weekend. And that worship has done its job again. Yeah, he looks perfectly fine, doesn't he?
Terrible.
There's 3 ladies walking around the pitch side here, the perimeter of the pitch, with what have they got, Ian? In those
looks like
drums.
Pasties. Pasties are going somewhere. Someone's ordered a crate full of pasties.
What was on the menu today?
Pork belly, very nice up there, very tasty.
I'm sure it was.
Superb food. You could have had my dessert actually, because it was a raspberry thing.
Don't do desserts.
No, I don't. Unless it's chocolate.
Don't do desserts. Stick to ice cream.
Yes.
Never grown up. Bit of jelly and ice cream. What's wrong with that?
Nothing.
Everyone loves jelly and ice cream.
Absolutely, with bits on top if you're lucky.
What, hundreds and thousands?
Yeah.
Callum Howe to Fagan Walcott. Cross to Jeff King. King goes back to Howe. Again, Adam Mitchell not happy with the backwards and sideways passing here.
I think he wants it to be moved a bit quicker, doesn't he? That, you know, but kudos to the opposition. They're not allowing York to do that. But I think Adam's expecting his team to be a bit quicker on the ball.
Mail to the left hand side to Fagan Walcott. Fagan Walcott sends it back to Harrison Mail. He gives it once more to Callum Howe. Again, it is walking pace. And again, Adam Hinchwood tells him to get it forward down this left-hand side. Look at the space Luamba's in. Batty, he then points, tells Luamba to get on his bike, and then goes back to the far side and gives it back to Fagan Walcott. Again, Adam Hinchwood, arms out in front of him. Yeah. Getting frustrated.
So it's sort of 2 steps forward, 1 back at times, isn't it?
How? Now it's sent out to ironic cheers to Luamba on this right-hand side. He gives it round the corner to King, but King can't get there as the pass was overhit. King just couldn't put the brakes on, and the green shirts have it once more. But they're running into trouble in the centre of the field here. The Forest Green, it's given away to Batty. Batty up towards the edge of the box, gives it to Luamba wide right. Luamba's first touch wasn't great, but he keeps hold of the ball. Then he puts a cross into the box, deep on, headed clear by Innes as far as Hunt, 35 yards from goal. He gives it to Felix, and a square ball once more to King.
Touch.
King, Hunt wasn't expecting his poor from Jeff King, and now the break is on for a Forest Green, but it's a terrible pass. They try and find Cardwell. No sooner did he hit the pass forward there, May, he was apologising because it wasn't going to get to his man. Then Lambert as well to turn away on this right hand side. Goes to ground. York said he should have a throw in. No. Well, he's giving it the other way. Some of the crowd around us can't understand that.
Oh dear me, what's going on here?
Not flagged offside, they're round the back. McAllister, he looked offside, we were directly in line from Cardwell. McAllister backtracking Joe Felix. McAllister still got it, opens up the angle, takes a deflection and goes behind for a corner kick.
Do you know, that was almost identical to the goal he scored down at the Forest Green earlier on in the season when he cuts in on his left foot and strikes it. He was in acres there. Joe Felix got dragged in and one ball beat York City there, and really McAllister might be upset with himself for not doing better.
is going back across now to take the throw. I'm just going to see if it was offside.
I'm not sure it was. No, you can't really tell.
We can't tell on that. It was tight. It was tight, but the flag stayed down.
Yeah.
He was in lots of space. No one was tracking McAllister.
Yeah, and he's the one player on the park you don't really want to leave free.
Corner kick then, far side of the ground. Oh, the 2-on-1 here. Which goes back to McAllister. He squares it to the edge of the box. May then puts a deep cross in onto the head of Batty, who clears the penalty area. Falls to Circum at the edge of the box. His shot is blocked. Comes back again to May, and he drags it well wide of goal. 1-1.
Yep. I mean, it's anyone's game. 61, 62 minutes on the clock. City are well in it, but Forest Green pose a real threat as well. And I think you can feel the fans, you can feel Adam Hinswood. He wants that ball. He wants it forward a bit sooner, a bit quicker.
Batty to the right hand side. To Nathaniel Johnson. Oh, he doesn't control it.
That's twice now that we've done that, and it the momentum, because everyone...
It's enough. He's turned round as soon as he went to his bench, and he's told Tyree Sinclair to get stripped, Josh Stones to get stripped. There's at least a double change coming on here.
Yeah, when that happens, we all go a little, it takes the stuffing out of you. And especially when you're a team that builds up patiently, you've got to get them bits right.
Howe heads clear, centre of the field. Batty puts pressure on the man on the ball.
Probably didn't explain what happened there. The ball out to Nathaniel George is a good one from Batty, and it just went through his feet, didn't it?
He just took his eye off it. Lack of concentration.
Yeah.
Richardson beaten to that in the middle of the park by Circum. And King's all over Osadebi here. Garrick. And the free kick's given. And Stones and Sinclair are now ready to come on.
I mean, that's the beauty of Adam's squad. You can bring on Josh Stones and Tyrese Sinclair to shake things up. I mean, they're two first team players, really. And hopefully pose a different threat to this Forest Green backline. I think there's three coming on. Is it Cam John as well?
Yep, Cam John too.
It's a triple sub.
Free kick though on halfway. Tozer goes across to Osadebi, far side of the field. Tozer gets it back once more. Now they send it long, and that's through to Harrison Mail. No one there. Too much on it from Tozer. Maybe that's why he takes the long throws, because his long-range passing isn't the greatest.
Clearly, I think he'd rather throw one in. I mean, it's a weapon, isn't it, that throw? He'd rather do that than ping one in with his right foot. So City
have it at the back.
Adam Hinswood showing his cards here. He's playing. Two more attackers coming on. Cam John will add a bit of height to the back line.
Down that left-hand side, Nathaniel George could be his last action. Thank you to the guys in front of me who just passed me back my pen as I drop it on the floor. Batty at the back for York City. Howe, the three wise men down here. Stones, John and Sinclair waiting to come on. Now it comes to Loamba on halfway. On the right-hand side, he goes back to Howe. Howe to Batty. So no 15th clean sheet for Harrison Mail tonight. Long diagonal ball to Nathaniel George. Behind him though, he had to go back to halfway to collect that Nathaniel George. Now he comes forward 10 yards and gives it to Felix. Felix back to Batty. 1-1 BBC Radio York approaching the halfway point of the second half. That's a nice ball to Luamba. Brings it down on his chest. Then tries to cut in field. Tackle comes in. Couldn't get the ball out of his feet.
Never any control.
And the green shirts give it away though. To Hunt, edge of the box. Alex Hunt drags his shot well wide of goal. Pearce wanted it played through to him. We're not seeing much of Ollie Pearce today, have we?
No, but I tell you what, I bet he's run as much as in any game, but he just hasn't been able to get on the end of the ball. This might be part of the plan, whether he stays on and Josh Jones comes on.
So here's the changes. The first one is Sinclair for Nathaniel George. The second one is John for Jeff King. So we're not going to see any Jeff King set piece deliveries.
So Joe Felix will come to right back.
Yeah, Joe Felix will go back across to his natural right back position. And the final one is Josh Stones. Is it going to be for
Richardson? Yeah.
Lewis Richardson, the goal scorer.
Yeah. It's a good game. Lewis Richardson, great goal. He's done his job now. The manager just wants to see a change. Maybe shake things up a little bit.
Joe Felix comes across to get some instructions from Adam Hinshelwood.
Treble substitution for the Minstermen. Number 7, Tyrese Sinclair replacing 11, Ashley Nathaniel George. 21, Cameron John replacing 31, Jeff King. And number 24, Josh Stones replacing 17, Lewis Richardson.
The play gets back underway with a Forest Green goal kick. The goalkeeper Rosek clears down the centre of the field, looking for the goal scorer Cardwell. He's beaten to it once more by Howe. Falls to Sinclair to get his first touch immediately after coming on. He goes back to Batty. Batty works himself a nice bit of space in the centre of the midfield, then goes back to the left-hand side looking for Pearce. Headed clear though by Innes, only as far as Sinclair. Sinclair edge of the box, tilted it by Ian Dunn. He does, but he drags it well wide of the near post. Didn't connect.
You'd expect more. I think Tyree Sinclair will have expected more from himself there. It just sat up nicely. Maybe came too soon. He's only been on the pitch for 20 seconds. Maybe just came too soon for him. But we've seen him strike the ball so much better than that this season. But it's a half a chance, David, to hit the target.
Oh, it certainly was. Yep. There's a lot of space over there. Now Forest Green again. Down the centre of the field. Fagan Walcott wins that header, finds Stones. He can't bring it under control though on the stretch. And they go long to the away side, all the way through once more to Harrison Mail. It stays 1-1. Lewis Richardson's goal on 49, cancelled out just 5 minutes later by Harry Cardwell. Fagan Walcott to Howe. Fagan Walcott again on this right. Inside right channel, down the centre of the field, looking for Stones. It's overhit though and goes all the way through to the goalkeeper.
That was inches away from being the perfect ball from Fagan Walcott.
I don't know if I've asked you what colour kit the goalkeeper's wearing down there.
Well, you kind of want to say, is it mauve?
I don't know, you're the expert on these things.
I think it's mauve.
Is it? If anyone disagrees with Ian Dunn, or agrees, there might be someone who agrees with you. 81333 on the text. 08000 321 333 on WhatsApp. Start your message if you're using either of those with the word York. At BBC York Sport, as Ian goes on Mr. Google to try and prove that it is mauve.
I'm going with mauve.
Stones.
I'm sure the club don't officially call it mauve.
No, probably not. Not if York City's colours are anything to go by. No, Forest Green will call it something wacky. Yeah. What they believe is pretty wonderful. Fagan Walcott forward to Luamba. Oh, he's tackled. Happy birthday, we should say, to Matt Ugler, 31, I think.
Oh, happy birthday, Matt.
Yeah, not here though, is he? He's bigger and better things to do on his birthday. I've not seen him.
No, I've not seen him today, but he'll be no doubt keeping an eye on it if he's not here.
Long diagonal ball for Luamba, intercepted though by Robson, the fullback. Into midfield it goes to Garrick. He lays it off. Circum sends it forward. Fagan Walcott's there to intercept. Luamba onto the chest of Garrick. Back it goes to Fagan Walcott, and he goes back to Harrison Mail. 1-1. 21 minutes to go in this National League game. Late kick-off today. City next in action next Saturday down at Yeovil. The first time in 3 weeks. Felix tries to send it forward, doesn't beat Robson though, and he heads clear, and then good tackle comes in from Stones, rolling around Forest Green, and nothing given by the referee, and Stones just not going to get there on the second ball. Adam May still on the floor. He's going to be fine. Forest Green aren't even kicking the ball out here. Batty gives away possession in the centre of the park to Circum once more, and then that's a poor pass. He tries to find McAllister, who's drifted across this left-hand side. May, surprise, is up. Doesn't need treatment.
Even his own players didn't want to stop the game there. It's like, just get up and get on with it.
It is ridiculous at times, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's no sign of him being substituted either.
It's the acting afterwards as well, as if they're recovering, you know. It's like, guaranteed, 2 seconds time he's going to be sprinting around like a newborn lamb. Look,
I wondered where you were going there.
I do, yeah. Had to pull that out from somewhere.
John to Sinclair, back once more to John. Man who was...
Oh look, it has. He's recovered.
Of the Altrincham winning goal was laid at his door on Tuesday night by Adam Hinchelwood. Cam John for letting the runner Amaluzor run off him. And that's a poor ball forward from Alex Hunt this time into touch. Adam Hinchelwood turns away. Again, his arms outstretched, takes a swipe at some imaginary football in his technical area. And now Cardwell's gone down and needs treatment off the ball.
Off the ball. Is he saying he wants to come off?
Today's LNER Community
Well, they are going to make a change.
Attendance figure is 6,810.
Wow.
6810.
6810.
A total of 302 away support.
302 from Forest Green.
That's a good turnout from Forest Green, as we know. It's a long old haul.
City took 500 something, I think it was. Yeah. So not bad. It'll be probably one of their biggest, if not the biggest, away following they've taken to a game this season.
Yeah.
Cardwell's still getting treatment. They are going to make a change here. It's Quigley that's about to come on, the striker, so it could be a like for like.
Yeah, Harry Cardwell's feeling his right knee, I think, there. Like you said, David, didn't you, earlier on?
He doesn't play 90 minutes.
He doesn't play, and he's injured quite a lot for a big lad. Good player, but yeah, that injury record he's got hasn't helped him.
Yep, that's the change. Quigley for Cardwell. He was always a thorn in York's side when he was at Chorley as well, wasn't he?
Yeah. Just always remember him. He's a lot of energy, put it about a bit, decent player. Always felt if he was up front with a clinical goal scorer, he'd probably create havoc, but that injury record he's followed him around. And here he goes off the park again. Mind you, didn't look too injured there. Probably just happy he scored his goal and get back on the bench.
Number 22, Joe Quigley.
Still got a throw in.
Number 23, Harry Cardwell.
Deep inside their own half, that Tozer, of course, was wandered down, sticks the ball up his shirt once more, and will now throw down towards halfway.
Quigley's huge as well, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Land of the Giants.
A few big lumps in this team. He's beaten to that, though, by Luamba. They've got another throw in. They've made 15 yards there. Adam Hinchwood furiously clapping his hands together as he tries to bring a bit more life into his side. 17 minutes to go, still 1-1. BBC Radio York. Throw in again by Tozer. He gets a lot of distance this time. Over the head of Quigley. Nodded clear by Howe. Quigley then nods it forward to McAllister. Into midfield it goes to McCann. McCann, edge of the box. Still got it, then he's tackled. It falls for Pearce. Sinclair's now going to have a bit of a roll around before getting up. Forward looking for Stones. Doesn't get there. Innes does. City win it back in midfield though. It's Hunt just couldn't find Pearce. Give it away now to Sinclair. Now to Hunt. Ian wants him to switch at this right hand side. Hunt's wanting to, but he needs to get it away from the first screen man. He gives it straight to Garrick. Garrick can now burst forward up towards the edge of the area. He's backtracking here, City, to this left hand side to Quigley in the box, left hand side. Fagan Walcott has to show him outside. He doesn't show him inside. Now it goes back to Garrick across the far side to Circum. McAllister. City struggling to clear. Hand in the face they're claiming there as he rolls around McCann in the penalty area. Again, that is absolutely terrible from McCann, trying to win a penalty.
Nothing wrong with him.
He's getting up.
And he's limping and hobbling. It's like the acting afterwards. What are you doing?
Alex Hunt.
Look, he's hobbling away as if to say, I'm really hurt, but then sprints. It's like, you're not going to get an award for reacting. It's football. Play football.
Sinclair, wide left, over halfway. He comes forward. Now Kurtz to come in field. McAllister's tracking the run. Sinclair to the edge of the box to Pearce. Can't actually find it back to Sinclair. It's going to fall instead to John. Gives it to Sinclair just outside the penalty area. Left hand side. City have got men in the box here. Sinclair digs out across. Headed clear as far as Batty. 30 yards from goal. Centre of the field. Batty brings it under control. Takes on the shot. No. And Innes knew it was going well wide. Just lifted his foot up and lets it go behind for a goal kick.
It was never there to shoot for Dan Batty there. He never really had it under control. But I think the crowd were baying for him to shoot. And I think he's listened to them.
819 days since Dan Batty last scored a goal.
Wow, it's a long time. It's a long time for Dan Batty, but he does other things. He brings other things to the team. It's not what he's in the team to do.
Again, he's not happy Adam Hinchwood down there, is he?
Yeah, he wants more from his team. He thinks there's more there. This is a good Forest Green side, but I feel the same as Adam. A little bit more conviction, and City might get something more than a draw here. I don't know if we're paying them maybe a little bit too much respect at times.
Rozek clears. Luamba hurts himself as he falls, holds the middle of his back. He's going to get up though, I think. Luamba. There's not much in that either, to be honest. He's alright and he's not got up, he's not made a meal of that, Luamba. Both assistants having a bit of a laugh and a joke between themselves. Gary Elphick and the assistant manager of Forest Green. Tozer down this left hand side, headed clear by Fagan Walcott as far as Luamba. He gives the ball away in the centre of the field though. On this left, good clearance from Joe Felix, into touch it goes. What's the referee seen here? Who's he wanting a word with? Ollie Pearce. He said something out of line.
It's Ollie Pearce. He doesn't hold back when he's complaining to the referee. I think the referee's probably just had enough there.
Well, this is dangerous because Tozer's now got another long throw that he can take. Directly in front of us, they're sending everyone forward.
They're just sending Innes forward, the big lad, number 5. This is going to be on his head if Tozer can find it.
He's having a word with the crowd who are saying something to him. I think he's trying to steal a couple of yards here, is Ben Tozer. They come away stolen loads of yards. Into the box it comes. Mail stays on his line. Howe heads clear. Pearce tries to win it for York City. Tozer does well to nod it infield to Osadebe in the centre circle. Osadebe just lofts it down the centre of the field. Won in the air by Fagan Walcott. Hunt's going to get there first and gives it to Luamba. Luamba tries to play it forward. Challenge is blocked. Hinshelwood again ignores the fourth official, comes and fields the ball outside of his technical area. Felix down the line to Stones. Stones gets around the back of May. Stones now fronts up Tozer. Still got it, Stones. Goes to the byline. Manages to get across it as far as Pearce. On the angle. Short blocked. Appeals for a penalty. Never going to get one there. I don't even think it's his hands. And then Felix goes to ground quite soft. Referee doesn't buy that either. I think he's got it right, the referee.
Yeah.
And City have it again at the back with Howe.
Yeah, I think only Pearce appealed for handball before he'd even kicked it.
About a yard away from the guy. And it didn't hit his hands. Absolutely nothing. No way he could get out of the way. Down the centre of the field, Josh Jones flicks that on to Pearce. Good link-up play between the two. He sends it out to the left-hand side to Sinclair.
Now then.
13 minutes to go, 1-1. City looking for a winning goal. Sinclair across the face of the penalty box. Not a great layoff to Hunt. Into the box, Stones back to Hunt. And he's lifted it over the bar. Oh, he had a clear sight of goal there, Alex Hunt. Went for the curler, and he's got far too much on it, and it's a couple of yards over.
That was as good a chance as Garrick's, in the first half. It's set up. Beautiful play from Alex Hunt. Little touch into, I think it was Josh Stones, and the layoff was perfect. And I think Hunt's just got underneath the ball there. Hit the target, it's in the back of the net.
Yeah, it's a little bit more difficult, I think, than Garrick's in the first half.
I'm not sure. It's middle of the goal. It's sat up. I might be wrong.
We'll have a look.
This lovely ball. Oh, yeah, just hit the target.
There's men between him and it's a bit further out. There's a couple of men he's got to get the ball past as well. Garrick's was basically an open goal.
I would imagine Alex Hunt would expect it.
Oh, yeah, he should have done better. But I don't think it's as simple. Luamba, they're saying there's a bit off-the-wall collision here. Referee allows play to go on. Pearce spreads it to the left-hand side to Sinclair. Sinclair does really well to bring it under control. Edge of the box. Sinclair, round the corner it goes to John, who's burst forward. And then he's won a corner. No, it goes behind for a goal kick. Luamba's still down on halfway, as if he's been poleaxed and missed exactly what happened. Fourth officials making sure Luamba's all right. Did either of them see what happened?
Just back to the play there, Terry Sinclair. Cam John's made a great run. I think the ball, Sinclair didn't really give him a chance. Unfortunately, he put too much oomph on the pass. It was a good move from York City as well. Great touch from Sinclair, but then the pass was just too much on it.
Well, Hinshelwood again. Who's he moaning at here?
At Sinclair, I think. He wants more quality from him, and he's got that quality. And that'll be frustrating. Yep, he's telling him. Or have a shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, frustrating.
We'll see he's had that extra shot of coffee on his latte pre-game that he talked about before the match. He's giving it everything down there, is Adam Hinshelwood. That's gone into touch for a Forest Green throw deep inside their own half once more. Stones gives Tozer the ball. The goalkeeper clears from the throw-in. Missed out Hunt. Going to be picked up though by Innes, centre of the midfield. Tries to get a toe in there. Does Fagan Walcott, but the Forest Green man comes away with it, and then he is tackled. Pearce for York City. Pearce comes across this right-hand side. Luamba goes forward. Pearce has still got it near the corner flag. He's going to try and win something here. Gets past the first man. Well does Pearce. Dinks it into the box. Oh, Stones just couldn't get there, and it's cleared by Innes. Nodded forward again by Batty, but straight to a green shirt, and May's able to come forward. To the right-hand side it goes. Looking for McCann, but he had to get past Callum Howe. He managed to do that, but couldn't keep hold of the ball.
Yeah, good covering from Cam John as well, just cleaning up.
Mail gives it to Batty, tells Batty to turn because he's got a bit of time, and Batty puts himself under pressure before going out to Cam John on the left-hand side. John, up towards halfway, gives it to Hunt. Hunt goes back to his centre midfield partner Batty. Now across to Fagan Walcott, into the final 10 minutes, still 1-1, BBC Radio York, Joe Felix. There are people starting to get up and head for the exits here behind us, Ian. What's going on?
I have no idea. I would not be leaving this match, I've got to be honest.
Into midfield it goes, and it's Forest Green that now come forward on this left-hand side. Sercombe comes forward. Sercombe still got it, lays it off this left-hand side. Cross comes into the box onto the head of Callum Howe.
Turn around and go.
Now there's room for Luamba to come forward, but he had to wait for the ball. Doesn't know there's a man up against him here, and he runs into trouble there, Luamba. Adam Hinshaw getting down his haunches, almost punching the turf with frustration beneath him, because we could see them coming to close Luamba down. He thought he had all day long.
Yeah, and he didn't. He had to be a little bit quicker. Speed of thought there.
Get him off his knackered, shouts the gentleman behind us. He might have a point. He did look tired there. Forest Green, though, it's going to be them, the away side, that make the next change in a second. They have the ball at the left back position with Robson. Down the line again for Garrick. Garrick tries to turn Felix. You ain't turning Joe Felix. York City throw in.
We've almost turned into a 4-2-4 here. Stones and Pearce up the top, and two wingers, and Luamba and Sinclair.
So here's the change. It's McAllister who's coming off.
Oh, that's a good thing to see.
And coming on is Tom Knowles. Wasn't involved at Halifax in midweek. Back on the bench today, the former Walsall and Yeovil man.
City is certainly having a go here, David. It's still attacking players out there, plenty of them. Can they create that chance for Ollie Pearce, Josh Stones?
Second substitution for Forest Green.
Throw-in taken by Felix. He gets it back off Fagan Walcott. Now to Batty, who sends it forward first time. Oh, Tozer gets lucky as he heads the ball clear straight onto Stones, and Stones can't do anything with it. Then Innes almost gets caught on the ball by Pearce. They have it there on the back. Also Debbie, Linnell, John Lewis about to go on. That's a poor pass out from Forest Green.
It was just a real mess. A real mess all round from the Forest Green defence.
Linnell, John Lewis about to come on. Is he going to come on for Luamba, do you think?
Possibly, and Pearce out to the right, maybe. Or might be Pearce.
We'll find out in a minute. I don't think it will be Pearce. I reckon it'll be Luamba. He'll just go for it. I think Adam Hinshaw would.
You might not be right. Might not be wrong.
Mail does sometimes leave the midfield a little bit light, though, doesn't it, when he sends all these men on?
Yeah,
he tends to just get bypassed.
He wants the win. Adam wants the win. He is not holding back here.
How? Fagan Walcott to Luamba. Might be his final action here. Tries to get past Garrick, and he has got past Garrick on this left-hand side. Two hands on his back. He manages to stay on his feet. Tackle comes in. That's a York City throw-in. Will the change be made now?
No. Luamba just made that run, and Adam Hinshaw went to the fourth official. No, not just yet.
Felix takes the throw into Hunt. Gets it back, does Joe Felix. On this right-hand side, edge of the penalty area. Back to Batty. Now to Luamba. First time ball around the corner.
It'll be next.
That was a bit hit and hope, that, wasn't it? He didn't look what he was doing with that. Just tried to send it forward. Intercepted, and Forest Green are able to clear. Quigley gets the better of Fagan Walcott. Give him a little shove, but I think it was fair enough. And then Batty puts it into touch on halfway. Now York City will make the change. What number's going up on that board?
Yeah.
It's number 14 for John Lewis, and it's number 29 for Junior Luamba, as suspected.
Yep. Got it spot on there. Now, where is John Lewis going to play? What formation are we going to play here? They're not going to expect John Lewis to play out on the right, that's for sure.
John Lewis replacing 29 Junior Luamba.
And this is a sign that Forest Green are maybe happy with the points. They've got a throw-in on this near side on halfway, and Tozer's not going to take it. It's going to be Robson down the line. They're going to make another change though first. Going off is Jordan Garrick, man who missed that gilt-edged chance at the start of the game. He's going to be replaced by Brandon Flemings. It's like for like. The left-sided man, the left-sided attacker. Robson down the line, headed into touch by Fagan Walcott. They've made a few yards, and still Tozer, is he going to take it? He is going to take this one.
Yeah, he's going to launch this one, and Big Innes is going up as well.
Number 27, Brandon Fleming, replacing 24, Jordan Garrick.
Yeah. So Callum Howe, so important here to defend these long throws.
Again, look how much space is. Look how, it's what, 10, 12 yards he's won there. He's stolen. Into the box it goes. Fagan Walcott heads clear. Sent forward once more by McCann. Far side. Good volleys. And it's wide of goal. Harrison Mail was rooted to the spot just wide, but they stole a good 10 to 12 yards from the throw-in.
Yeah.
City didn't defend it that well. Shot came in. Clear shot from the far side. And it goes wide of goal.
But why isn't the fourth official, the linesman, why are they pulling the Tozer back there? It's 10 yards. And with the lad with a big throw like that.
It was at least 10 yards.
Yeah.
10 yards plus, wasn't it? City have it at the back. Still 1-1. 4 minutes plus injury time to go. Fagan Walcott. So John Lewis up front with Stones. Pearce is wide left. And Sinclair's now come across the right.
Yeah.
All change once more for York City. John,
Felix
with the long
with a
ball
run.
down the centre of the field. Felix, the centre, looking for that. He's not going to win many headers. Falls to Batty as Forest Green head clear. He gives it to Hunt. Now to Sinclair on this right-hand side. Sinclair infield to Batty. Batty back to this right-hand side, but it was missed. Missed out Felix, couldn't find Sinclair, and the Green Shirts have it once more with Quigley. He lays it off to Robson, who just sends that forward onto the head of Callum Howe. Oh, and then he gives away. Poor header from Callum Howe. We don't say that very often. And then it comes into touch on halfway, and that's a York City throw-in. Felix to Batty. Back to Felix. Felix goes back to Fagan Walcott, and he's put that into touch. Poor ball back down the line to Fagan Walcott. And again, it's going to allow a long throw.
Yeah.
That is dangerous and disappointing, that from Joe Felix.
Yeah, it's the last thing City wanted to do, really. It gives Tozer this another chance.
Referee calling Tozer by his first name, Ben. Big buddies, the ref and Tozer. Oh no, he skipped the other side of the thing again. He's going to end up stealing a few yards again, is Ben Tozer. He is. He's stolen loads of yards. Come on, referee. Into the penalty area it comes off a York head, and Harrison Mayle is able to gather. Why did they allow that?
I have no idea, 'cause it's easy to manage. Oh, what a
Mayle,
ball
long
is
ball
it?
over the top.
Oh.
Also, Davey gets his head to it though. Pierce was hoping he was going to miss it, and he gets a run in on goal.
It's not like they didn't even contest it, the linesman and referee. You know, there's no question.
Forest Green man's gone down over there. The referee gives the free kick on halfway, right side. Still, it remains 1-1. 2 minutes now to go. Where does a point leave both of these sides?
Well,
another good day for Barnet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's sort of nothing's changed from the end of the Barnet game, has it? It's gonna be Barnet, I think, looking pretty dominant in this table now.
Send lots of men forward here for the free kick on halfway at Forest Green, up towards the edge of that York City penalty area. Looking for Quigley. Stones wins it though, finds Hunt, and then Hunt tries to send it forward, but there's only Pierce there. He's beaten to that in the air. Good header from John Lewis, who's back out helping his defenders, and it's sent forward by John again, straight to Ossa Davey though. He goes to the right hand side. Down the line it goes. Forest Green trying to come in field at the edge of the penalty area. Cam John backtracking, sends him down the line, then it comes off John. That's going to be a corner kick. It is. It's a corner kick to Forest Green.
It is, and you can feel the nerves in the LNER here, David, now.
You can hear the Forest Green fans as well to our right hand side.
Well, they sense something. City have got to defend this properly
as we head into the final 60 seconds of normal time, with the corner kick to the boys in green, or the men in green. Far side of the field, May goes across to take it.
Yeah.
Front of the groundsman's hut.
There's some big players in there for Forest Green. City have to be strong here.
They're taking a long time to place this ball in the quadrant, is May. Going to be an outswinger. In it comes now. On top of Harrison Mayle. In fact, it's gone straight. Not even come into play. It's gone straight behind for a goal kick.
That's absolutely brilliant for York City. That's one of the worst corners you'll ever see.
Fagan Walcott, encouraged forward by the South Standers, gives it to Hunt in the midfield. Bit of room for him to work in. And give it to John outside him, which he does. It's not a great ball. It's John's heels. Slows up the momentum.
Just behind him, wasn't it?
It was. He gives it back to Hunt on the left wing. Hunt back to Batty. Last chance saloon as Marvin Armstrong gets ready to come on. 1-1 it remains as we go into injury time. Fourth official with the board in hand. What's he going to put on it? Howe sends it forward. Gives away possession cheaply. 5 minutes goes up on the board. Quickly round the corner, then over the top, and they're in around the back here. The flag's gone up. I thought he was onside there. Right in front of us, that.
I did. I thought he was onside. He's not arguing, thankfully.
No, City take the free kick quickly at the start of the 5 minutes. Crossfield ball to Pierce, hugging the left hand side. He then sends it forward looking for John Lewis. John Lewis is beaten to that by Tozer. Sinclair can't get there, but it's going to fall in the middle of the park to Batty.
Go on.
Batty drives forward, sends it to this right hand side to Sinclair. He needs to put in a telling cross now from this right hand side. Runs at the fullback. Good block from Robson. He's got into touch for a York City throw in.
Yeah, showed him too much of the ball there, Tyree Sinclair. But right attitude, right to take the player on. I'll try to.
Here comes Marvin Armstrong for Alex Hunt.
Fans making the noise here. Can they get City? Can they be that 1% extra? Can they be the difference maker? Can City get that goal?
Throw in then to York City. We've played one of the 5. 1-1 it remains. Armstrong, Felix, back to Fagan Walcott. Across to the left hand side. He comes in field to Batty to Fagan Walcott. Fagan Walcott puts the cross into the box. Can't beat the big head of Tozer. He sends it back to Armstrong. Batty back to halfway to Callum Howe. Aaron McLean far side of the ground. He'll be happy. Barnet fan that he is. Doing the game for Telly. Another good day for his side in the National League title race. Batty clears into touch, and that was a Forest Green throw-in on halfway. And again, Adam Hinshelwood just looks bemused by what he's seeing.
Conversions have nominated Dutch Bar, Orchard Vodka, York City Man of the Match.
Here's the man of the match.
Number 23, Joe Felix.
Little Joe Felix.
Yeah, the all-action Joe Felix. He's been everywhere again today. Works his socks off for the team.
Tozer this time taking the throw-in on halfway, right in front of his manager, Steve Cottrell.
Pretty standard for Joe Felix.
Down the line, looking for Quigley, who wins the header infield, cleared by York City. John Lewis gets his chest to it. Is that his first touch, John Lewis? Since coming on, it may well be. Now Fagan Walcott finds Sinclair. Sinclair held up on halfway, turns away from trouble. Now can come forward.
That's a
Good
foul.
tackle comes in there, is it? No, it's not. That might be a yellow card as well. It is a yellow card out immediately to be shown to Brandon Fleming, who's just come on.
Good play by Sinclair, determined to beat his man. Can City raise it, David?
Well, we'd like the late show to come back in town this Saturday evening.
We're due a John Lewis late goal, aren't we?
It's
been a while.
Yeah, it has. Start of October for John Lewis's last goal. 5th of October away at Woking.
Be nice to do it now.
Batty, everyone forward, line across at the edge of the penalty area. Headed clear on that far side by Innes. Armstrong can't get there. Forest Green are able to clear in touch on halfway far side of the field. We've played 3 of the 5 minutes. It's still 1-1. It looks as though it's going to finish 1-1. Felix, he's took that from 15 yards further back than it needs to be to give it to Harrison Mill for him to belt forward. Callum Howe staying upfield here. It's a front 6 for York City. Sinclair on this right hand side, but Batty goes to the left hand side looking for Howe in the penalty box. Howe wins the header as well. Headed clear though by Innes, and he finds a green shirt again on that far side of the field.
Yeah.
They send it long to Forest Green, looking for Quigley.
We're 2-on-2 here.
It is Quigley against Joe Felix. Should be a bit of a mismatch over there. He needs a bit of help. Quigley runs away from Felix. Quigley's turned 25 yards from goal. Thought about having the shot, and then sends it out to this left hand side. McCann in the penalty area. Into the box it comes. Howe's able to clear. Nodded by May to this left hand side, but given to York City. Sinclair can come forward.
Come inside.
Sinclair does try and come inside.
Go on, lad.
Tries to get past the man who's just been booked. He's brought down. Referee says no, that was a free kick. That should have been a free kick. And now he's given one against John Lewis. Oh no, referee. That was disappointing.
Very disappointing. Sinclair did well to stay on his feet initially, and then he got bundled down. It was a free kick for sitting. Somehow Forest Green get a free kick after that.
It's a free kick in the centre circle, right on halfway, with 30 seconds to go, and they're taking their time over it at Forest Green.
They're happy with the point. Forest Green, they'll launch it, see what they can get.
Osadebi, crossfield ball, edge of the penalty area. Stones beaten to that in the air. Marvin Armstrong tries to clear, doesn't get much distance on it though. Stones wins the header, picked up again though by the green shirts over that far side. Into midfield it comes. The green shirts still have it, edge of the box. Round the corner it goes from Circum. Good tackle comes in from Cam John, into touch for a throw-in.
Thought that was our ball there.
Well, this is going to be a Tozer throw-in. Oh, they've gone quickly, they're taking it short. To the byline, and they've run that behind for a goal. No, it's gone behind for a corner kick.
Oh, concentrate York City. The point is better than none.
Yeah. It's the last action. You can tell they're about to blow the whistle because the Forest Green man is actually sprinting over there, Liam Circum, to take this corner kick. So we're not far away from the final whistle. We're 30 seconds already over the 5 minutes. It's 1-1 and the game's finishing with a Forest Green corner kick as the York City supporters head for the exits and are all just stopping just to see what happens. And it comes now to the near post. One the flick on, Stones clears for York City, final whistle goes, it finishes all square. York City 1, Forest Green Rovers 1. Possibly, maybe a fair result, you would say, Ian Dunn.
Yeah, absolutely, it was a fair result. It was 2 good teams who worked hard. It was an entertaining match, you know. I think City showed that they can mix it with the big boys. It was a decent performance. I don't think either side deserved to win. So, yeah, 2 good teams. Would you say they cancelled each other out a little bit, maybe? Who knows? But I thought City did well, and but I think a draw is a fair result.
A fair result, and one that keeps the gap between the two teams at 3 points. York City taking the lead at the start of the second half with Lewis Richardson, a lovely finish and a really nice move from York City. The ball laid off into midfield, Hunt with a little chip pass down the centre of the field, and then as the goalkeeper came out, Richardson on his second touch, after not having the greatest first touch on his thigh, lifted it over the on-rushing goalkeeper. Shortly equalised though as they got in down this left-hand side, crossed to the back post. Harry Cardwell, free header. Harrison Mill did get a paw to it, but he couldn't stop it going over the line. It finishes here at the LNER Community Stadium. York City 1, Forest Green Rovers 1.
Thanks, David. Thanks, Ian. More to come from them. We are here with you until 8 o'clock this evening on BBC Radio York, and we will get reaction as well eventually from Adam Hinchelwood. Of course, he'll have other commitments before he gets up to David this evening, so it might be a little longer after the final whistle than what we would like, but he will be with us at some point, and we will bring you that reaction here, hopefully before 8 o'clock. And of course, if not, or if you just want to hear it again, you can do so on BBC Sounds a little later on this evening. So the league table, following that draw with Forest Green, as you would understand, just a point gained by each for York City and Forest Green. York City now on 71 points, still 11 points behind Barnet. Forest Green, 68 points just behind York City. City, as I say, on 71. So York remaining in second place in the table. If you want to get in touch with us, we'd love to hear from you. What did you think of that performance? Maybe you've just on your way out of the ground. Get in touch. Text us on 81333. Please start your message with the word York. Tweet us at BBC York Sport, or on WhatsApp it's 08000 321 333. Again, please start your message with the word York. Gaz has been in touch. Evening, Gaz. He says he's a season ticket holder, couldn't be at the game today because he was in the hospital in York with pneumonia following a heart operation last week. He says he really shouldn't be listening, as not good for my recovery, but the lure of David and Ian was too much. He says, sending this at 1-1, let's get a winner, City. Look on the bright side, Gaz. At least there wasn't a winner to set your heart racing, so let's look on the bright side and get well soon. Thank you for getting in touch. Keep your comments coming. We'll go through what you've got to say ahead of 8 o'clock.
On BBC iPlayer.
A wandering salamander. To find a mate, he sets out on an extraordinary journey that has never been filmed before.
Explore the wildlife and spectacular natural beauty of the Americas.
It's an epic journey where we search for the wild and the wonderful.
Narrated by Tom Hanks.
It's up close. It is shocking. And it's beautiful.
The Americas. Watch on BBC iPlayer.
BBC Radio York Sport with you on this Saturday evening. A late kick-off at the LNER Community Stadium, meaning we've just had the final whistle. York City 1, Forest Green Rovers 1. Here until 8 o'clock, bringing you reaction as soon as we possibly can from that game. And we'll also get more thoughts from David and Ian shortly as well. Let's just go through today's results before we do go any further. In the Premier League, Nottingham Forest 1, Manchester City 0. Brighton 2, Fulham 1. Crystal Palace 1, Ipswich 0. Liverpool 3, Southampton 1, Brentford 0, Aston Villa 1, Wolves against Everton, that kicks off at 8. In the Championship, Coventry 3, Stoke 2, Watford 1, Millwall 2, Bristol City 1, Hull City 1, Burnley 4, Luton 0, Derby 2, Blackburn 1, Plymouth 0, Sheffield Wednesday 3, Sheffield United 1, Preston North End 0, Sunderland 2, Cardiff 1, Swansea 1, Middlesbrough 0, West Brom 1, QPR 0. In League 1, Crawley 1, Reading 1, Stockport 0, Charlton Athletic 0, Barnsley 0, Blackpool 3, Birmingham City 1, Lincoln City 0, Bristol Rovers 1, Huddersfield Town 0, Burton Albion 1, Bolton Wanderers 2, Exeter 2, Shrewsbury 0, Leyton Orient 1, Northampton 2, Peterborough 1, Wickham 1, Stevenage 1, Mansfield 1, Wigan 1, Cambridge 0, Wrexham 1, Rotherham 0. In League 2, Wimbledon 2, Notts County 0, Walsall 1, Grimsby 3, Barrow 2, Accrington Stanley 0, Cheltenham 0, Colchester United 1, Chesterfield 2, Newport 1, Doncaster Rovers 2, Swindon 2, Fleetwood 1, Port Vale 1, Gillingham 1, Bradford City 0, Harrogate Town 1, Carlisle United 0. Reaction from that game on BBC Sounds. MK Dons 2, Morecambe 1, Salford City 1, Crewe 1, Tranmere 2, Bromley 1. And in the National League, Barnet 1, Dagenham and Redbridge 0, Aldershot 3, Gateshead 1, Boston 2, Woking 2, Eastleigh 1, Hartlepool United 1, Fylde 0, Braintree 2, Halifax 1, Yeovil 0, Maidenhead 0, Sutton United 1, Rochdale 4, Wealdstone 1, Solihull Moors 2, Ebbsfleet 1, Southend 2, Altrincham 1, Tamworth 1, Oldham 1 and York City 1, Forest Green 1. And finally, in National League North, Brackley 2, Alfreton 0, Chorley 3, Chester 2, Farsley 1, South Shields 3, Hereford 0, Darlington 2, Kidderminster 3, Scarborough Athletic 0. Reaction from that game also on BBC Sounds. Links have been tweeted out at BBC York Sport. Needham Market 0, Marine 1, Oxford City 0, Buxton 7, Radcliffe 1, Curzon Ashton 2, Scunthorpe 1, Leamington 0, Southport 0, Kings Lynn 2, Spennymoor 1, Peterborough Sports 1 and Warrington Town 2, Russell Olympic 0. And just to conclude as well, as far as North Yorkshire's sides were concerned, in the Northern Counties East League, Golka 1, Knaresborough 2, Beverley 1, Pickering Town 0, in Division 1, Harrogate Railway 4, Yorkshire Amateur 1 and Athersley Recreation 2, Selby 2. Well, let's get back to the LNER Community Stadium then and get some more thoughts and comments from David Ward and Ian Dunn. A 1-1 draw, David. Was that the right result, you feel, for the performance?
Yeah, overall it's probably a fair result. They missed the glaring chance in the opening few minutes through Jordan Garrick to take a 1-0 lead, and I thought the rest of the first half was a relatively scrappy affair. Neither goalkeeper called into action. I think the disappointing thing is that York City, after taking the lead, they could only hold on to it for 5 minutes, Ian.
Yeah, it felt like one of those games where they, sounds obvious, but hold on to that lead a few minutes longer might have just frustrated Forest Green enough for them to go on and win the match. It's one of those games. I think ultimately it was a fair result. I think both teams showed why they're second and third in the league. And it's just one of those, you've got to take the positives out of it. And the positives for me is, if you remember back to the Forest Green game, when they got on top, certainly they looked a lot more physical than York City. Today, I don't think physicality was an issue. And for the size of them, they were big lads. We matched them all over the park, and I think that was a stark difference between this game and that one for me. And that means we're going in the right direction. It means the team's progressing and getting better at certain instances. So, lots of positives to take out of that game for Adam Hinchwood today.
It was a tale really of poor finishing, wasn't it, at both ends? Because I honestly can't remember either goalkeeper having a save to make.
No,
apart from the 2 goals.
Yeah,
they didn't really have much chance on.
No, it felt scrappy. There's nothing. Well, I say nothing clear cut. Alex Hunt had a good. Alex Hunt, he's such a clean striker of the ball. You would sort of expect him to do better. And certainly Garrick's one in the first few minutes. I think you'd have scored that, David, to be honest. But yeah, you're right. Other than that, were the keepers tested enough? Probably not. But I think that's testament to both teams being well organised defensively and stopping chances being created, really, more than bad misses or not managing to break the opposition down. Both sides were well organised here today.
After Barnet's win as well, we said commentary, I suppose it suits them. The worst result for them would have been a York City win. I think they would have probably accepted a Forest Green win, and then they go level on points with York. But what's happened today with the late goal for Barnet and then both teams dropping 2 points, it does now feel, I know Adam will say we keep going until it's mathematically certain that that's what's going to happen, but it does now feel as though York City and Forest Green will maybe have to start thinking about just ensuring they finish second and third, which at the moment it looks as though they will.